Amid the thunderous cheers of thousands in the studio, the host's jubilant voice still rang out evenly. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, tens of millions watching, hundreds of brutal battlefields, and a string of classic betrayal. Overcoming every hardship and cutthroat rivalry, the sole champion surviving to the final second. She didn't flinch. Instead of backing down, she faced it head-on. Instead of hesitating, she charged forward. The host glanced at the scoreboard, then took a breath and announced. And finally, she carved a legend from virtual reality into real life. Remember this moment. The first season champion of the Livestream tournament, player Shin Hayon. Reflexes faster than the blink of an eye, instincts surpassing mere accuracy, and an unprecedented physique no one could replicate. With a scripted crescendo already in place, the host rode the wave and lifted the audience's emotions to new heights. She crossed the line from ordinary gamer to legend. Player Shin Hayon will close her chapter on this stage to prepare for the Pro League debut. Indeed, who will inherit this glory in the coming season? 6 years later, in a luxurious high-rise nestled in the bustling district, the reception area was, for some reason, busier than usual. Yet the large research lab maintained its usual silence so the scientists could focus. Suddenly, a massive chrysalis-like mech unexpectedly unfurled. The man inside opened his eyes and immediately heard a gentle greeting whisper in his ear. "How are you feeling?" Jihai, excited by his dazed expression, added, "It's been a long time since you played a game, hasn't it?" Seo-jun waited for her to finish, then replied, "Yeah, it's much less dizzy than before. I also feel considerably lighter." A soft sigh escaped him and Jihai couldn't help but snicker. But she didn't forget her job and went straight to the point. "Can you come over here a moment? This next-gen pod integrates all our cutting-edge tech to optimize performance. Thanks to that, even people with physical disabilities can have a smooth experience." Of course, with someone like Seo-jun, who has a low synchronization rate, playing within the allotted time shouldn't be a problem. He looked up and asked immediately, "How much does this cost?" The blunt question made Jihai hesitate for a few seconds. "Well, that," before she cheerfully raised her hand and said 100 million won. The staggering number left Seo-jun frozen. 100 million won. While Jihai laughed awkwardly as if that price was outrageous, he was busy pondering his bank balance inside. Not enough balance. Total assets currently 458 won. Seeing his crestfallen face, Jihai didn't prolong the awkwardness and continued, "That's why I have a special offer for you, Seo-jun. Want to hear it?" Seo-jun slowly stepped into the VR pod, a device that satisfies modern human cravings by bringing virtual reality into countless industries. But of all those fields, the one that drives people wild must be. The pod quickly transferred Seo-jun's mind straight into the dragon's skull for a knockout, peak-level move. The giant dragon tumbled down as if tripped by fate, giving Seo-jun a chance to exhale before landing. Perhaps because of the neural stimulation of players and viewers, video games are always the field people love the most. With a staggering realism that makes you hardly believe you're in a virtual world, when the cries start pouring out from the system, dazzling skills begin to be flashed by the player. Seo-jun was swept into that world as naturally as that, and the whole world erupted in a virtual reality gaming craze. Yet Seo-jun passed out inside the pod in less than a year, all because his synchronization rate for moving like real life in VR was far below average, only 10%. That harsh truth left Seo-jun slumped, scanning the news on his phone while riding the bus. The frustration made the young man sigh. "I'd hoped, because they said this pod could play even with low sync rates. But no matter what, 100 million is still way too steep. Where would I get that cap? If I'd known, I'd never have touched the game. And now, I keep craving that feeling of playing again." Seo-jun sulked, propping his arm on the windowsill and staring out at the sky intently. Unconsciously, he gave a short, weary sigh as a vague thought drifted by. Why did I get into this pod game business in the first place? Night fell over a dreary rental apartment block. The host shouting from the TV echoed through the place. Another record this week. The first season champion in Korea, player Shin Hayon, T-Woo, hearing it, exclaimed, "Holy wow, that's insane." The scale of this thing is massive. Even pro players currently competing jumped into this friendly match. Seo-jun had just come home and cleared his throat, asking, "Hey man, what's that blasting so loud?" His sudden arrival startled the other guy. "Oh, you're back. This friendly match is insanely addictive, I'm telling you." Seeing his friend so cheerful, Seo-jun sat down beside T-Woo and chatted. "Is that tournament really that famous? They advertise it non-stop." Unexpectedly, the question visibly tensed him. "Are you crazy, asking if this tournament is famous? Do you have any idea that question might insult pod gamers?" Seo-jun, still puzzled by his friend's overreaction, asked, "What's wrong with Tae-woo?" Annoyed. launched into a fanboy-style proud pitch about the Livestream League. It pulled 15 million viewers on its premiere. Just in Korea, an annual tournament draws at least 1 million viewers. And counting international audiences, this is a colossal tournament with over 15 million viewers. Apart from pro leagues, this is the most spectacular of all competitions. Upon hearing that, Seo-jun blinked and asked curiously, so what kind of weapons do they mostly use? Though he didn't get the naive question's angle, Tae Woo answered earnestly, there are bows and magic too, but honestly, swords are still the strongest. He finished and watched his friend's reaction. Unexpectedly, Seo-jun went quiet, muttering like he was daydreaming. Swords. Tae-woo, seeing his friend spacing out, angrily crammed a handful of crispy chips into his mouth. But just holding a sword doesn't make you good. Last year, I foolishly twirled a sword and got knocked out in the first round, and all I scored was some crappy gray-tier gear. You hadn't even flown high before choking on Seo-jun's cold remark. So as long as you're a streamer, you can sign up whether you're famous or not, right? The dog-teasing jab quickly sent Tae Woo into a rage, shouting, hey, I'm good too, you know. If you're not famous, it's a real struggle to snag a spot in the league tournament, got it? He didn't bother arguing and just absent-mindedly scratched his ear and sighed, ow my head. When Tae-woo calmed down, he finally asked suspiciously, why are you suddenly asking about the league tournament today? You never cared about pods or live streams before. Seo-jun fell silent for a few seconds, then replied softly, just ask. Suddenly, his phone buzzed wildly in his pocket. Seo-jun tapped to open his phone. A message about Jihai's earlier offer hit him right away. The morning memory rushed back. At the tourism-sponsored league tournament, a next-gen pod had been added to the prize list. As long as you agree to enter this tournament, I'll arrange for you to borrow a pod free of charge until the competition ends. Seeing Seo-jun's surprised look, Jihai excitedly sealed the deal with confidence. What do you think? Snapping back to reality, he quickly asked tentatively, maybe I'll try entering the league tournament, which made Tae Woo, who had been mindlessly agreeing with the TV seconds ago, pause. A moment later, Tae Woo turned to him with an indescribable look. What did you just say? Seo-jun, sensing his friend's bewilderment, calmly answered, I said I'll try entering the league tournament. Don't you think if I take it seriously, I could make something of it? His friend's flaky attitude made Tae Woo let out a long, exasperated sigh. Do you think the league is some nationwide karaoke contest where anyone can just jump in? Where does that overconfidence come from? Those cold words made Seo-jun sigh wearily with frustration. While his friend wasn't looking, he quietly slipped into his private thoughts. I've thought about this a lot. Why I so desperately want to return to pod games. I want to taste once more the glory I had as a sword god. Because that deep-seated drive quickly pulled Seo-jun back to the moment. He stood supreme in the ancient forest. His sharp gaze suddenly flashed a deadly image. Before his body instinctively lined, waiting for the swarm of attackers to pounce, Seo-jun gently drew his precious sword, then calmly dispatched the humanoid demons without a shred of hesitation. Who could forget his lone stance amid the bodies he had felled? Seo-jun, the man who seemed like a useless bum, still retained intact memories from a past life. Whether he wanted them or not, they returned on their own. A secret black market that only opens on full moon nights. Even in that lowest rung of society, Seo-jun was nothing but an item waiting to be used. In his previous life, that slave was him. If that peaceful moment had truly occurred without blood spatters everywhere, a stranger suddenly appeared and dealt with the vile slave trader. Everything happened in a flash right before Seo-jun's eyes. While he stood dazed, not knowing what to do, the man asked Seo-jun, hey kid, want to come with me? If Master Hand Suk hadn't appeared then, and reached out a rare hand of mercy in that cruel place, the past of a genius rescued from the brink of despair, with the burden of leading the righteous path amid envy and expectation, or a sword god of old would never have existed. Seo-jun kept nodding and smiling like a madman as he remembered the past. Master, what good is being a sword god in a past life anyway? Tae-woo stood outside watching his friend's trance-like look and muttered irritably, this guy's a lunatic. Seo-jun angrily lowered his voice in a northern accent as he turned to banter with the brat. What did you just say? Unexpectedly, Tae-woo not only wasn't scared, but raised an eyebrow and shot back. I'm telling you, you're the crazy one. Spending money on this just to join a live stream tournament. Does that even make sense? His arrogant posture made Seo-jun's face harden as he asked, why are you getting all riled up? Of course it makes sense. Tae-woo went blank for a few seconds to find a comeback, then rushed on. Do you know how strict the league's entry requirements are? Fame alone won't get you anywhere near it. Tae-woo sighed and explained, seeing his friend's dazed face. You think getting famous is easy. You need talk skills, that cheeky smile at the end of streams, likes, comments, subscribes, hit the notification bell, and in-game flashy moves. T. Wu even pretended to twirl to illustrate his point. Whether Seo Jun wanted to learn or not, he kept goofing around happily, adding comedic flair. You've also got to know how to edit video. Even if you could do all that, plenty still flop because nobody watches. And you haven't even touched a VR pod. How do you expect to play? The sharp rebuttal made Seo Jun glance awkwardly at the pod behind. When he asked to confirm again, isn't there no way to rise purely on skill? That simple line made Tae Wu snort and mutter, this guy's stubborn as hell. Actually, there is a pro route, Shin Hae-in, lauded with flowery praise, the top gamer in Korea, more famous than many celebrities. Seo Jun showed no admiration. Instead, he smirked with annoying nonchalance. Is that so? I'm better than her. I've used this VR pod once before, a long time ago. Of course, that calm, breezy line didn't register with T. Wu. Nonsense. Did you catch a single word I said? Not good. I need to teach you a reality lesson. He slowly stepped toward the pod and called out, get in now. If your skills are better than Shin Hayon, no, just better than me, and I'll cover your chores from now on. With his friend issuing the bet, Seo Jun didn't hesitate and gave a sly, knowing smile. Then almost immediately sealed the bet. Deal sealed. A little while later, Seo Jun crawled into the pod and took his position. While the system was still working, connecting to the virtual world, 10 seconds remaining, he slipped into his own thoughts. A streamer, huh? To be honest, this industry never interested me. But Seo Jun took a deep breath and let his mind wander. Suddenly, his subconscious conjured the image of Han Suk. His gentle, rough voice echoed in Seo Jun's mind. Everyone is clumsy at first before becoming skilled. If you hesitate just because you haven't tried, you'll never achieve anything. As that advice ended, a blinding light flashed in his eyes. Seo Jun slowly opened his eye. The strange, antique surroundings stunned him for a moment. Where is this? Before Seo Jun could do anything, the system suddenly announced, Kim Ti-woo has entered the training room. He just appeared and already mumbled with a grin, you're in, huh? Seo Jun swallowed his bubbling curiosity and replied, yeah, what's this place like? Sensing his interest, Tae Wu leisurely explained the training room. This is a basic game pre-installed in the VR pod, where you fight AI to set records. When Seo Jun showed his cluelessness, can't I just spar you? Ti-woo snorted while handing stuff to his friend. Here, take this. If I fight you, I won't hold back. You might get injured. Beat my Chialsu here and you win the bet. A system stats panel suddenly popped up, leaving Seo Jun stunned. Ti-woo didn't even need to look to know what it was and started explaining. The AI here has levels from 1 to 10. The higher the level, the stronger it gets. The final level 10 simulates the best performer among those who have cleared level 9. And Shin Hayon has held that spot for 5 years straight. But hey, to reach level 10, you first have to get past level 9. And that's no easy feat. Before he could finish, Seo Jun zoned out and the system screen lit up. Turns out Seo Jun had somehow selected a difficulty level, and the system hurriedly summoned an AI down. Solo mode has been set. The match will begin now. Ti-woo grinned at his cold expression. What, you picked already? Lucky you chose a level. Don't tell me you're going to skip levels like a fearless idiot. In a split second, the AI grabbed its sword and rushed at Seo Jun. It swung the hot steel, and he parried it effortlessly. The clang of blades made Tae Wu clear his throat and chuckle. What's up with this guy, acting all cocky? Meanwhile, Seo Jun casually read and countered each of the AI's moves. But when it started pulling a dirty forward slap, Seo Jun easily sidestepped with effortless flair. Before the AI could react, he tilted his sword and carved a line across it. A light attack that took away half the AI's health. That info left onlooker Ti-woo speechless. Beginner's luck. Seo Jun stood motionless, waiting for the AI's next move. The moment it charged into the danger zone, he swung and disoriented it. Before the AI could regain composure, Seo Jun cut across its body repeatedly. Just as the AI tried to lift its dirty sword, he quickly sliced and severed its robotic arm. As the AI's sword-bearing arm dropped to the ground, Ti-woo went pale with shock. The battered AI, sensing lethal intent, lifted its head. Seo Jun casually stepped on its flailing arm. The sound made the AI look up. Seo Jun waited for that exact moment, so it could see his victorious smile clearly. Then he gently sent the opponent to AI heaven. He withdrew the thin blade from its body, so the AI could be reclaimed by the system. The system's beepy data analysis noises kept chiming continuously. Moments later, it announced Seo Jun's feat. You have won the level 9 match, HP 10 remaining, duration 2 minutes 23 seconds, current rank 107. That display froze spectator Tae Wu. What, level 9? The AI you just smashed was level 9. Wait, so that means the next match will be. The system quickly spawned another AI avatar, waited for it to finish setting up, and then ignited with energy. Tae Wu felt the variable arrive and took a few steps back. Shin Hyeon. A terrifying sight that made T. Wu afraid to breathe. Because the one facing AI Heian was his taciturn friend, Seo Jun. What the heck is wrong with this guy? In the lab, Su-min shook Jihai and called director. Why did you do that? She received the strange question from the other and asked, what do you mean? Su-min quickly clarified her thought, lending it for free. There's no need to be that generous. Honestly, he looks like the kind of guy who will never make it into the tournament. Her mind even pictured Seo Jun's reaction if he accepted Jihai's offer. From now on, this VR pod is mine. She waited for her subordinate, then blurted out that she just couldn't stand watching talent go to waste. Su-min quickly caught the keyword and raised an eyebrow. Talent. Jihai stared at Seo Jun's file, lost in thought. Even back when he couldn't hit the minimum synchronization rate, I saw something different in him. His skills now far surpass what they were then. Not wanting to contradict Su-min, Jihye slowly exhaled and said vaguely, sure, he's still far from qualifying. But if he actually makes it, I think he could win the championship. Meanwhile, inside the system's training space, Seo Jun was casually dueling AI Heian. The tense sword fight had T. Wu sweating bullets. Could he really become champion? A fleeting thought made him hurriedly hit the record button. A sudden confidence crept in and T. Wu couldn't help but grin darkly. If he actually wins, this is pure content gold for monetization. Meanwhile, Seo Jun was still busy SWORDFIGHTNG. AI Hyeon as he swept his blade and knocked his opponent back. AI Heian quickly regained the initiative by pinning its limbs to the floor to stop the recoil. The opponent's agility gave Seo Jun a slight pause, truly deserving the Shin Hyeon name. I noticed that before too, but she's more talented than anyone I met in my past life. Thinking that, Seo Jun couldn't resist tooting his own horn, oh right, except for one person. His momentary daze made T. Wu shout urgently, hey, what are you doing? In a split-second, AI Heian seized that blank moment to stab Seo Jun. That outcome quickly dashed all of Tae Wu's earlier hopes about him. Yep, that's it, nailed it. How could you match Shin Heian's speed? Unexpectedly, Seo Jun calmly pulled AI Heian's sword out of his own stomach, then tossed it to the ground without bothering to answer his friend. A thought flashed through Seo Jun's mind as he watched AI Heian leap back unscathed. Not a drop of blood anywhere. Seo Jun glanced at the notification that he'd lost 1 HP and nonchalantly remarked that virtual reality sure is impressive. The unexpected calm made T. Wu frown and ask, don't tell me. You purposely took the hit to test it. Seo Jun didn't object. He just shrugged nonchalantly. I was curious, that's all. While the two were still chatting, AI Heian suddenly conjured a new sword to replace the old one. It slowly crouched, lowering its center of gravity. Then it bolted at Seo Jun at top speed. The sudden burst forced him to match its pace to parry. On one side stood AI Heian, a replica of the strongest modern player. On the other stood Seo Jun, who in a past life wielded the deadliest kenjutsu of old. The two quickly slammed blades together, producing a powerful reactive shockwave. While Seo Jun calmly held his sword down, AI Heian panicked slightly. Never having faced this, it froze. Warning screens that shouldn't be there began flickering across its energy visor. That brief data burst was quickly read by Seo Jun, so he decided to jerk his blade and send AI Heian sprawling back. While it was still dazed, he kicked hard into AI Heian's guts. The rushed attack made it hop back frantically to keep a safe distance. Inside it rang the system's cold voice, HP -4. Seo Jun stared at AI Heian without moving and mocked, what's wrong, not charging it anymore. He leaned back a little, then used the momentum to spring upward. All right then. Seo Jun appeared through a veil of smoke and flew to AI Heian's face. Back in the day, his aggressive strike forced it to raise its sword in defense. The two pressed with such force that the blades rubbed together and sparked. But moments later, AI Heian's blade showed jagged cracks. That sight stunned T. Wu. Wait, no way. Before he could finish his thought, Seo Jun snapped AI Heian's sword in two. The recoil from his strike even sent it flying backward. Everything went exactly as Seo Jun planned, making him unable to suppress an early victorious grin. Under the system's ominous lighting, he slowly held his sword across AI Heian's throat. Before the final strike, Seo Jun couldn't resist the taunt. Train another 80 years and maybe you'll beat me. As soon as the words left his mouth, he made a finishing horizontal cut across AI Heian's neck. The system ingested all data and quickly reported, you have won the match. Under T. Wu's odd, terrified gaze, Seo Jun casually said, hey, I just beat Shin Heian. Is this enough cred to be a legit streamer? As he spoke, the system updated a key detail. the level 10 owner has changed. The next day, in that basic rented apartment, Seo-jun lazily sprawled on the sofa, acting superior. While you're out, pick up some food, will ya? After yesterday's shock, Ti-woo was now doing real slave labor for him. How did you cook the noodles so underdone? And vacuum the living room later. Your clothes aren't folded. After you eat, wash the dishes too. All thanks to that unbeatable bet, so Ti-woo could only weep quietly. Didn't you say you'd accept no resistance? Meanwhile, Seo-jun finished eating and went into his small private room, where the VR pod was set up to get ready for work that day. I installed the game yesterday already. Now I'll just set up the livestream room. Seo-jun nervously closed his eyes as the pod system carried his mind away. That faint glimmer appeared again. Who knows how much time passed? Seo-jun slowly lifted his heavy eyelid. The surrounding space was stripped down to a chilly minimalism, leaving him a bit dazed. As Seo-jun stared around in a daze, where is this place, he wondered. The system's basic interface suddenly appeared. When it spoke as if answering his question, this is your personal hall. Take your time to prepare before entering the game. He scratched his chin and nodded like a 70-year-old. All right, streamers interact with viewers right in their hall, so that's the place. I should decorate this place properly sometime. Okay then. All right, let's turn on travel first. The top game livestream platform Travel quickly popped up before Seo-jun. A breezy thought blew through his head. I have only one goal now, to attract enough followers as a streamer to qualify for the Leo's tournament. When the system suddenly announced your livestream will begin now, Seo-jun slowly steadied his breath, and the game he chose was Dawn of the Assassination Squad is the game, a medieval title where players must eliminate targets using the weirdest tricks they can imagine. Seo-jun nodded proudly at his choice. It hit over 2 million viewers on launch day, and even after a week, its appeal hadn't cooled down. Perfect for a complete newbie like me. In the pitch-black night, a grappling hook was fired up onto a stone wall. The sharp hook quickly took shape, so the shooter could use it to vault up. Seo-jun's new in-game avatar grabbed the rope and ran up the wall. After a few breathless minutes, he finally reached the top floor of the building. Thanks to tricks learned in a past life, Seo-jun landed on target in a flash. He casually leaned over to gaze at the glittering city below. A sudden gust blew his hood off, revealing Seo-jun's new looks. All right, time to start, let's go live. The system suddenly displayed a title for his stream. Newbie streamer playing a game for the first time. Any masters want to give the newbie some tips. Seo-jun read that and blinked, thinking Ti-woo sure gave a clickbait title. Hope it works. He recalled Ti-woo's earlier confident words. Trust me, I'm your senior in streaming. I'll pull a ton of viewers, come watch. And he couldn't help but laugh and shake his head. After all, I'm not a total noob at these VR games. After that fleeting amusement, Seo-jun sobered and swept his eyes downward to where the glittering towers reeked of money. Seo-jun slowly scanned the characters geared up and moving like contemporaries in the real world. The cohesive scene design oddly put Seo-jun in a good mood. The setting pulls you in, credit where it's due. The graphics are well funded. He was so excited he laughed without meaning to. Suddenly footsteps approached from behind Seo-jun. He calmly turned around at the soft call. Dane, this mission might be a one-way ticket for you. Seo-jun quickly delivered the system line. Christina, have we ever done a job that wasn't dangerous? Before she could add another line, Seo-jun frowned, thinking the newbie tutorial is auto-running dialogue now. The voice is different too, so this character's named Dane, huh? Pretty cool looking. When Christina flipped her expression to show awkwardness, indeed, Seo-jun smiled, letting the raspy line ride the wind. Once you're out to take someone's life, you'd better be ready to give yours up too. Christina heard the grim talk and sobered, raising her voice. Right, be careful though, they might have sniffed you out already. But unlike her worry, Seo-jun casually brushed off her concern. Don't worry, wait for me at the tavern first. Unexpectedly, Christina not only ignored his words, but handed him a folded paper. Under his puzzled gaze, she vaguely said, nothing is certain, learn to doubt everything. Heard that line, Seo-jun grinned with excitement. Here we go. Then he continued the system-assigned line as he took the paper, even chaos. After parting with Christina, Seo-jun sprinted across the rooftops of the building. He pulled out a thick cloth and gripped it tightly. Having locked onto his destination, Seo-jun let himself slide along the cable on the rope. Near the landing, he released the rope and kicked off the lamppost peak. Then he lightly landed on the ground. Seo-jun's eyes even kept that old killer's expression. Until the system announced tutorial mode ended, he snapped back to his usual bewildered self. Wait, it's over. Seo-jun hurried to refocus and continue the game. Daytime routes are over already. Little info lines popped up before him. Optimization galore. Climb up via the water pipes. That very line made Seo-jun uneasy. Not discouraged, he measured the pipes set into the wall with his hand. told to grip those and climb up. The moment Seo Jun's hand touched a small pipe, his whole body felt triggered by some energy, and he kicked the pipe, vaulting high. Moments later, Seo Jun landed right on the building's rooftop. His fluent climbing surprised him. Oh wow, what's this? My body moves smoothly by itself. The interaction is so realistic. Done already. Must have been in auto mode earlier, so I was a bit stiff. Suddenly, a newbie mission popped up. Assassination target, Eder, a high-ranking noble and intermediary for a secret organization. The Assassin's Guild tasked member Dane to take him out. Completion condition, Eder must die. Seo Jun read the bulky text and sighed. So basically just kill a guy named Eder, got it. And I have to admit, this game guides you like crazy. No sooner had he finished than the system lowered a rope for him to climb down on. Seo Jun carefully climbed down, while murmuring to himself that step-by-step guidance like this makes it easy. Suddenly, this old man stopped everything he was doing, all because a crazy thought raced through Seo Jun's head. What if I let go while I'm climbing? Do I really have to slide to the very end of the rope? Letting go halfway probably won't hurt, right? My gut says so, faster this way. No sooner had the thought hit than crazy Seo Jun let go. Whoops. Just as predicted, his body fell and smashed to the ground, like an overripe durian dropping from a tree. After a while, Seo Jun regained consciousness, sat up groaning, yeah, that really won't. Surprisingly, that unconscious stunt caused the comment panel to pop up before his eyes. Seo Jun skimmed through all the comments on display. The streamer is textbook newbie material. Lol. You guys new here are hilarious. Hope you're not acting. I'm dying laughing for real. When I started, I was clueless too, muttering spells awkwardly. Oh right, I'm live, I keep forgetting. When did 4 people start watching? Thought no one was watching. Turns out the title actually works. Seo Jun pictured Ti-Woo grinning about this, then politely interacted with viewers. Sorry everyone, I just noticed the chat. Viewers split opinions for a moment. This newbie's comedic. Move faster and stop stalling. Don't dawdle, keep going. But Seo Jun's attention was fixed on only one thing. Why are these account names so weird? Or did a bunch of eccentric folks randomly wander in? And come to think of it, Ti-Woo told him, when you first start streaming, practice talking to yourself to fill the silence. Whether there's no one or just one viewer, don't obsess over the number. The most important thing is to interact. That thought sent Seo Jun into a private analysis. They're watching his channel instead of big ones because they want real interaction. On big channels, the chat scrolls by like wind and you get lost. Let me try talking naturally. Actions speak louder than words. Seo Jun started a Q&A with the viewers who stuck around. So you're really new, huh? Yeah, really. Profile checks out. Account created 2 days ago. Can others see that? Sure, you can hide it if you want. Ugh, annoying, too lazy to hide your profile, but play games all the time. When will you do the mission? Oh, here it is, I'm on my way. After who knows how long, Seo Jun finally reached Count Eder's mansion. While he casually remarked on how quick the trip was, viewers felt uneasy about what they were seeing. This place looks like a haunted house. The crow's cries give me chill. Not sure what to do first, Seo Jun asked the viewers for help. Should I just walk in through the front door? Which earned tense reactions. Seriously, no fear, reeks of newbie energy, wait, don't. Christina's letter said not to do that. As the last comment popped up, Seo Jun flipped open that paper. Oh right, there's another letter. He squinted reading the paper and mumbled to the viewers. It says Eder is in the second-floor bedroom with about 20 guards. Weapons are available, and no sooner had he said that Seo Jun summoned his hot peep. His left hand was enveloped by the system for a few seconds, before revealing a small gauntlet around his arm. Seo Jun stared dumbfounded at the 2 items he was equipped with, a sword hidden in a walking cane and studded gloves. His innocent look made the viewers unable to help but explain. Those are just the default tutorial weapons. Seo Jun didn't pay much attention to that anyway. His only goal was to take care of Eder. That's more than enough. Thinking that, he sheathed the sword again. Then he calmly walked straight through the enemy's front door. All right, I'm going in. His decisive move sent the audience into a flutter like hens watching chicks run onto train tracks. Wait, this newbie's gone mad, stop. When Seo Jun calmly turned to ask what was wrong, everyone sighed in unison and reminded him, for heaven's sake, didn't you read Christina's letter? Please follow the instructions in the letter. Ignore him, he has to die a few times before he learns. Today the ruler of the underworld is ready to take another soul. The stream of strange reactions made Seo Jun purse his lips and think, wow, people are reacting strongly. Unable to come up with anything clever, he asked bluntly, can I go in through the front door? A viewer messaged, do you even know the warrior playstyle? Seo Jun immediately exposed his cluelessness. What's that? That genuinely puzzled look made the other get all compassionate and tutor him. In this game, if you're detected doing a mission, NPCs get buffed. Normally people sneak in quiet, but sometimes veterans like to be reckless, just storm the front door and slash everything. That bloodthirsty playstyle is called Warrior. Seo-jun skimmed the comments and quickly asked, so you can't beat the tutorial by brute force? The other answered without thinking, who knows if anyone has done it. Someone grinded about 10 hours, got frustrated, quit, then came back to do it the normal way to get the first ending and vowed revenge later. Not even the veterans on the forums had posted success stories. Hearing that, Seo-jun couldn't help but snort. So it's not that it's impossible, it's just that no one has done it yet, right? The other didn't see his smirk and replied philosophically like an old hand. Yeah, unless you're a pro beast like Shin Hae-in, maybe that. The familiar name made Seo-jun step forward mentally. Shin Hae-in. He gently pulled his hat down and smiled brightly. All right, let's see about that. The blood moon scenery surrounding Eder's mansion created an indescribably creepy atmosphere. Only now did Seo-jun slowly feel the eerie vibe here and stagger a beat. Oh, up close this pressure is no joke. But they say letting viewers underestimate you a bit is an art of content making. He calmly read the scrolling comments and sealed the deal. This thread's toast right here. Anyone want to bet how many tries this guy lasts before rage quitting? He'll never get through it. Die fast and restart to save time. You guys are hard. What's this newbie doing? Dunno. Do you even know who Shin Hae-in is to be bragging like that? Those sharp words didn't bother Seo-jun. Something else did. 3 more people joined the stream. So scandals really do attract viewers. Well, as long as they don't go overboard, fine, let them be. Seo-jun's light footsteps quickly drew the attention of the mansion's guard. They hurriedly took up defensive stances and shouted, "Who's there?" As the comments switched to mockery, "Oh my, got caught right after entering, told you he'd die here." Seo-jun leisurely replied, "Don't worry, I'm getting the hang of it," only to receive cold scoffs from the harsh commentators. "Who cares about you? We're watching you die for fun. Yep, 3 seconds and you're down." While he was still distracted, a guard lunged forward with his sword raised. "You there, come out now." In a split second, Seo-jun's eyes shifted into killer mode. With a speed like a ritual, he drew his sword to block the bandit's attack, then smoothly returned a counterstrike to that foolish guard, sending him writhing in pain as he rolled on the cold ground. The sudden turn of events sent viewers into a frenzy. "Oh my god, I should buy a lottery ticket. Wait, did I just see that right?" This newbie actually successfully parried, which made Seo-jun freeze for a beat. His hand quietly clenched the hilt tighter, but not out of worry, more like confusion. Even as his hand handled the opponent by instinct from a past life, he still didn't quite get what had just happened. Are the monsters in this game really this fragile? The remaining soldier, seeing his comrade taken down so fast, hurriedly charged over this kid. Unfortunately, the outcome was the same. Seo-jun casually parried with his flimsy sword. But before finishing the foe, he even had time to read the viewers' comments. "Wait, what? No way. Swear if I'd known I'd have bought a lotto ticket. Double parry, crazy, this is pure luck, I'm dying laughing." Seo-jun, clueless, stood there parrying with a stunned face. Suddenly, the pushed-back soldier staggered to his feet, making Seo-jun annoyed as he sent him off for good. Afterwards, Seo-jun cleared his throat and called out, "Hey everyone, why are you freaking out?" Unexpectedly, he dumbly asked an obvious question, "What's parrying?" Moments later, the other couldn't stop laughing as they messaged back, "Holy smokes, you pulled that off and don't even know what parrying is." But when Seo-jun seriously replied, "Yeah, that's right," everyone exploded. Damn, he's a born genius, pure luck, but a genius nonetheless. Their noise annoyed him. "Stop arguing and explain it to me." His blank look made viewers both angry and amused. His attitude is hilarious. "I suddenly feel like helping. Please stop fighting, guys." Only after a while did Seo-jun's "oh" ring out. "Oh, so that's it." He lightly prodded the pile of illustrated notes at his feet with his cane and answered the teachers. "So that's what parrying is. Meaning you time it when the enemy lunges and strike down with a single blow to stun them," which made viewers snort with laughter. Artistry level. Top tier, this guy actually has sharp reflexes. Even the confident ex-pro gamers were freaking out at this game's parry mechanic, which made Seo-jun frown. Even the pros struggle with it. T-Woo said a level 9 bot is basically pro level. If the pros only reach that level, then the average skill of players must be around there too. No wonder people find it hard. Successful parrying requires reading the enemy's attack direction precisely and moving your body in sync. Suddenly someone asked to confirm, "Do you get what parrying is now?" Seo-jun quickly nodded like a good kid. "Got it, totally understand." Instead he got earnest but misdirected advice. "Then turn back now while you still can, or you'll eat a world of hurt in a bit." Without thinking twice, Seo-jun stepped forward another pace. "Why would I do that? I think it's easy." His confident tone quickly had viewers rolling with sarcastic laughter. But strangely, a far more serious comment suddenly appeared. "No way, I'm watching closely. That move just now definitely wasn't luck." Before he could reply, that remark was immediately jumped on by other commenters. "You think being top 1 is easy? Who does he think he is? The greatest assassin in Korea isn't some bum. What What do you even know? The unprecedented bickering in the comments made Seo Jun sigh. Damn, that poor guy spoke one sentence and got roasted instantly. In my past life, I was the same way. Even when I crushed the disciples of the big sect, they still looked down on me as a nobody. No family background, no backing. My strength was always dismissed. I know now and back then aren't the same, but still. Before Seo Jun could think any further, a barrage of footsteps rang out and froze him solid. A bunch of soldiers, alerted, rushed out and faced Seo Jun. Stand still, intruder. Seeing their cocky postures, he simply tightened his grip on the hilt. Basically, it's still the same thing. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Seo Jun instantly flicked into motion and charged into the enemy. After all, I'll just let the results prove it. No sooner had Seo Jun taken down one than another appeared from above. He casually leaned aside as his eyes caught the enemy's weak point, then quickly drove a strike into that soldier's body. That decisive, nimble move left the audience gawking. What the heck, however, his duel wasn't over yet. Clang after clang rang out repeatedly for a few short seconds. Then the final hit sound chimed, leaving only Seo Jun standing firm in the gloomy battlefield. Yet he still swung his sword and spun like a breeze, just to send the last idiot off to join his buddies in the heaven. In a brief moment, Seo Jun stood silent and stabbed his sword into the ground to rest mid-match. Under the blood-red moon, his soft voice sounded like a demon collecting souls. If you want to catch me, you'd better bring out Shaolin's 18 R-hat formation. His cool stance stunned the viewers. Does this streamer have padded knees for smooth kneeling? That's not it. He just pulled off 4 parries in a row. Now are you curious who I am yet? Are you curious who I am yet? Are you curious who I am yet? Seo Jun was busy reading comments when he noticed one more enemy still alive. Damn it. Call reinforcements. The guy hadn't taken many steps before Seo Jun swiftly threw his sword straight into the red center, hidden under the opponent's iron helmet. He let out a measured sigh like a grim reaper finishing his shift. His footsteps sounded crisp, with life amid the air thick with the stench of hell. Seo Jun calmly withdrew his sword and murmured, "Scene over, 6 down." The ghastly scene left viewers unsettled. Wait, so who is this streamer? Really a newbie? When Seo Jun earnestly answered, "Of course not. Didn't you just see how I struggled earlier?" Some early viewers turned around and shouted, "Told you so. Hold on, before this you couldn't even climb over the roof and now you're swinging like that. Thought this was a clueless beginner's stream, but turns out a hidden master. Who is this guy?" Seo Jun fell silent for a moment, then cleared his throat and warned, "Spam, the greatest assassin in Korea one more time and you're banned, island time." The guy, eager to see his skill, nervously reported back, "Yes, boss." His obedient tone made Seo Jun a bit bashful. "Thank you for being the first to recognize my ability." But unexpectedly after that sweet interaction, someone brazenly chimed in, "This thread works seriously hard. Being banned from this tiny channel, what's there to fear? Go ahead and ban me if you're so tough." The message that the viewer had been kicked from the room came with Seo Jun's calm voice, and the whole audience had a good laugh seeing the guest off. His reflexes were truly top tier. That physical instinct was terrifying, making him the first banned of Season 1. I'm jealous. With skills like this, he'll blow up fast. If he's banned now, he'll only regret it later. Sworn. He skimmed those comments and sighed inwardly. This is a good sign, right? I'm actually doing well. It's hard to say. In my past life, I never dared show myself because of my lowly origin. Held down by those famous orthodox sects, I belonged nowhere. But talent can't be hidden. Eventually, I became a lone sword god. That was me. If Seo Jun's juniors heard this, they'd scream, "Please stop, dude. What nonsense are you spouting? Do you know how much garbage we had to clean up because of you? Ha ha ha." Senpai, I bet even talented Seo Jun wouldn't bother listening. One ear in, one ear out. The nostalgic moment ended quickly as curious comments popped up. "Seriously, how are your parries so perfect? For real, any tips? Your hands are like magic." When Seo Jun hesitated to answer, well that. The viewers frantically egged him on. "Spill it, what's the trick, what's the secret, tell us now, I'm dying to know." Then out pops a wild line. "Just remember your past life, easy right? Or just watch the enemies strike carefully and chop straight down from above, that's all." That line made the viewers furious. Do I look like I don't know that, do I? Do I? Are you burying us here? Someone bring the pig spearing stick, this is shameless. Seo Jun watched their rising anger and muttered, "I was trying to give a detailed explanation and you guys are yelling at me." Suddenly the guard's frantic shouts rose. "The intruders over here," while he was just quietly muttering, "Oh no, they're all swarming over." Someone quickly explained in the host's banter, "Stand still too long and you'll be surrounded like this." In a split second, Seo Jun found himself surrounded by a squad from the mansion. One viewer seeing this sneered, "Just die here and skip the tutorial. Who are you to take on Eder?" Which made Seo Jun a bit annoyed but chuckling. "Folks, a newbie just pulled off 13 parries in a row. Don't you want to witness that?" Just as Seo Jun proudly declared this to his livestream viewers, the NPC guard's shouts echoed again the next second. Eliminate the intruder. Only one of them, don't be afraid. Armored feet stamped and ran in circles to box him in with no blind spot to obscure his view. Unfortunately for them, the foe they faced was none other than Seo Jun, nicknamed Sword God in his past life. Calm and composed, he easily seized every opportunity to unleash decisive strike. Yet the count of the Count's guards was overwhelming. One falls, another charges in. However, for someone like him, it wasn't a huge problem, as his sharp eyes swept the area behind him. He smoothly lowered his center to dodge a sharp blade from a guard trying to ambush him, a move that sent the audience into a mini panic. Does he have eyes in the back of his head? Is this streamer a hidden pro? Even pros might not pull this off. Seo Jun's difficulty to deal with only stoked the NPC guard's rage. This bastard. Without any hint of panic or hesitation, his feet weren't for fleeing, but planted as a solid pivot. And as an assassin of the dawn, Seo Jun faced the guard's brutal onslaught head-on. With an opening that could take down even someone like Shin Hae-in, of course the NPC mob before him could only be pushed back by him. No surprise, one neat sword swing, and Seo Jun successfully claimed the heads of two opponents. No hint of strain showed in his eyes. He even leisurely curled the corner of his mouth into a soft smile. The moment he bloomed in the space owned by boss Eder, the sight sent one viewer into a frenzy, utter madness. The opponent turned out to be Jom, whose in-game id is Korea's supreme assassin. What the hell is he really a newbie? What the heck is he really new? From his account name and forum antics, Jom's famous as a hardcore fan of the Dawn Assassin squad. Back when the dev announced the core rules at the Hype Dane press conference, his motto was pure stealth and assassination, a wipe build. If you're brave, go try it, but even attempting it leaves you bruised just trying. Hearing that JOAM, more of a berserker wiper than anyone, went absolutely mad. The difficulty spike only fired him up more, igniting a burning desire to conquer it. But nothing's really easy. When the challenge rockets up, most testers only taste bitterness and helplessness as the game over messages pile up. However, that also birthed some weird strategies. Hey folks, turns out you can just collapse the whole building to complete the assassination mission. And over here there's another method relying on memory. Memorize the boss mechanics and it's easy. Just make that thing explode at the right moment and the boss is toast. This game's wild. It didn't stop there. Someone invented the most time-consuming PLAYSTYL. I've camped for 3 hours and the target still won't show. Viewers couldn't help commenting. Are you that bored to watch this for 3 hours? You stubborn bastard. Please use that time to actually study the game. You could say wherever Jom watched live streams, he never witnessed a truly elite wipe, so he kept telling himself, hell mode difficulty is something else. But right now the decisive slashes from Seo Jun illuminated Jom's life. The exhilaration swelled until tears of emotion brimmed at his eyes. Yes, this is the real wipe playstyle. After all, the owner of that tiny unknown channel Jom accidentally clicked was Seo Jun, and he was executing the brutal wipe play Jom had been hunting. Waves of excitement pulsed through Jomquot's body and tumbled from his moving lips. Yes, this is it, this is it. He spammed comments in worship. How far ahead did you see, sir? You are the greatest legend in the history of my Dawn Assassins team. Back with Seo Jun, his powerful moves had the soldiers taking heavy losses, collapsing in heaps on the cold concrete floor. In this moment, Seo Jun had truly won the hearts of the viewers on the other side of the screen, sweeping glory. Should these mortal eyes even be worthy to witness this? Streamer, are you hacked? Seeing the flood of comments on his system screen, he couldn't help but wonder, really, you guys are that hyped over this? I'm just dodging what needs dodging and blocking what needs blocked. Hearing Seo Jun's nonchalant tone, the audience erupted into frantic questioning. Excuse me, are you crazy man? Hilarious, you think we don't know that? This stream is a real emotion. After being roasted enough, he flat out announced, fine then, anyone who doesn't like it, I'll turn off the stream. Bye. Those comments immediately switched tone. Wait, master, I didn't mean that. Big bro, please, why are you like this? Though small in number, Seo Jun did manage to earn positive recognition for his first livestream. Oh, all 6 viewers followed me already, not bad. While he was still feeling reflective, a thunderous explosion erupted right before his eyes. After that violent destruction came a pair of leather-shod feet, according to the viewers' comments. Now the real show begins. Finally, the boss fight has arrived. In the blink of an eye, the opponent didn't bother with any theatrics and hurled a lethal orb straight at Seo Jun. Luckily, the ground underfoot took the hit because he dodged in time, leaving viewers stunned. How did he dodge that? His reflexes are crazy fast. He banned accounts as quick as lightning earlier. Regardless of the spectacle, Eder as the end-level boss showed true arrogance, snarling like a panicked rat darting about. Followers couldn't help complaining. How could he possibly win this? Ow my ears, the boss's roar is terrifying. At the same time, Seo Jun stopped watching the screen or listening to the ranting, and decisively flicked himself forward. When the distance between him and Eder closed just enough, Seo Jun executed a light hop. With no hesitation or restraint, he swung his razor blade straight at the opponent, but only dealt 5 points of damage. Because the damage was so tiny, the big guy only froze for a moment. His head didn't even fall off. And in the next instant, Eder turned back delighted, grinning ear to ear. "What are you flailing about, kid?" Seo Jun's brows knit sharply. Now he tasted some difficulty. His health dipped a bit, typical boss energy. Showing exemplary curiosity, he asked the chat, "Hey, will this chain mace block hits?" They answered immediately, "Of course not. You trying to one-shot the boss or what? Where's your conscience?" Not caring what the player muttered, Eder had one goal. Show off the thing in his hands. "Stupid kid, I'll let you taste the absolute power of this flail." With his hulking frame, he demonstrated how sheer brute strength overwhelms a nimble Seo Jun. However, he also proved that his weight didn't slow down his attack speed one bit. So the property-smashing show continued in waves, while Seo Jun dodged without breaking a sweat. Seeing he still hadn't done any real damage, Eder remained confident, as if victory was already in his grasp. Waiting for the foe to pause, Seo Jun launched himself up again with a superhuman leap. Unfortunately, it went worse than before. This time his damage only registered as 3, and Eder haughtily declared it useless. "This body won't fall." At the same moment, Eder's stone flail slammed up into the hanging lamp above. Luckily, Seo Jun dodged in time and landed on the floor looking cool, but as predicted, the damage remained pitifully low. However, the slow pace of the fight gnawed at his overactive mind. If this keeps bleeding the boss down slowly, will there be enough time? True to Seo Jun's worry, a viewer with the id, "You are the greatest in my life," warned that if you don't defeat Eder within 5 minutes, it's an instant loss, which left him stunned at how short that window was. What? And because of that, he noticed a silent black countdown clock showing 4 minutes 17 seconds. When did that pop up? Dazed by the sudden developments, Eder's attack flashed past Seo Jun in a near miss. As expected from an NPC final boss, no matter how he moved his mouth, never tired of smiling. "Kid, where are you looking while fighting?" The yellow pupil characteristic of Seo Jun's Danes squinted tightly with each thought. "At this rate, there's no way I'll kill it before time runs out." Now the system clock in his sight showed only 3 minutes 42 seconds left. Maybe aim the sword straight at its weak spot. There must be some trick. Jome quickly morphed into the little cheerleader and offered a solution to his new idol. "Lord, if you keep striking the same spot, the damage stacks. That's the current theory online." Seeing the plan seemed plausible, Seo Jun nodded after a moment's thought. "Hit the same spot repeatedly. Fine, let's give it a shot." As he sprang into motion, he didn't forget to thank him. "Korea's supreme assassin, thanks for the tip." It didn't take long before Seo Jun closed the gap with the tough enemy again. That determination to focus paid off. He shaved off 70 points from the foe, and the audience went wild. "Oh my, that health chunk just dropped." Jome was right. And as he landed on the floor, he concluded, "Turns out concentrating on one spot is the key." Etidius' expression was no longer playful like before, but pure rage. Each word hissed through his teeth. "You little brat." Though he'd found a breakthrough, the fight was nearing its end with only 2 minutes 16 seconds left. Time's short, can't give it any breathing room. After deciding that, Seo Jun lunged and grabbed Eder's weapon. Making the man go pale, viewers couldn't help exclaiming, "No way, he's actually beating the boss." Now the wide battle turned into a test of raw strength, with a roar from the man, "You little rat." Of course, Eder wouldn't stand idle. He swung his free fist to try and pry the weapon away. "Drop your filthy hand from my weapon now." His anger surged like a volcano erupting molten lava. "You bastard." But Seo Jun clearly wasn't about to spare him, even though the clock hit 1 minute 7 seconds, giving the boss no chance to counter. His slashes dealing 200 to 500 damage rained down until viewers chimed in, "Sorry Etidius, are those reflexes even human?" After a flurry of brutal yet precise swings, everyone gasped and couldn't hide it. "Insane, it's still not dead." Responding to a question in chat, Seo Jun noted, one more hit needed." Someone shouted excitedly, "Finish it now, guys." And at the moment the countdown read 0, 5-1, a blood-soaked stroke was swung. The end of the level boss caused a shockwave that rocked the entire mansion. Under a hellish red and gloom sky, the area trembled violently. Though defeated by player Seo Jun, Eder stayed coherent enough to howl fiercely for the sake of the plot, cursing the hypocritical lackeys of the assassin's squad. A second later, he tore up the paper he'd pulled from his jacket as he declared, "I'm not dying alone here." That scene also marked the completion of his newbie quest status. Some viewer was now frantically moving their mouse across the screen. Clips of Seo Jun's imposing image spread across social media with flashy titles. "The rookie's first fight." Clearing the tutorial with a slaughter and a 13-to-1 block ratio, the first person in the universe to kill Eder was recorded. No fakery, no staging. Under a star-filled night sky, the skyscraper still had lights on, a sign the owner hadn't gone to sleep. Deeper inside, exclamations kept popping as someone furiously moved the mouse over their screen. Oh my god, this is beyond awesome. The viewer wasn't a stranger but Jome, still buzzing with excitement. Can't believe I'm witnessing the first ever flawless clear. Inside the game, SEO Jun flinched at what rushed into view. It was. Now a series of red-orange magic arrays erupted and engulfed them from every angle, leaving no blind spot. Clearly he was so crazed by his defeat, he decided to blow everything up and drag his enemy down. Unfortunately for him, player Seo Jun had nimble moves and enough speed to barely escape. Once he reached a safe gap, he inwardly cursed the boss. That bastard Etore just cast a self-detonating rune. And that horrific sound drew the guards' attention, sending them sprinting toward him shouting, "The assassin's over there." Beneath the full red moon, Seo Jun knew he couldn't hold off enemies from four sides, so he spun and ran as screams rose behind him. Grab that assassin. After traversing that vast space, he finally stepped into a dense forest filled with foliage and white mist. But no matter how quiet the surroundings, Seo Jun's feet couldn't stop moving. Truly, his refusal to pause even for a second proved wise. At the moment, an enemy arrow came streaking toward him from behind. With keen senses, he quickly realized a killing intent was hurtling at his back at incredible speed. Unluckily, standing at the edge of a dizzying precipice, Seo Jun was struck in an instant. And there was no doubt about it. He let himself fall through the vast air with shock stamped on his face. Now the bright moon still calmly shone above, but the distance between it and Seo Jun was so vast he could never reach it. A bead of sweat rolled down his cheek. Even in peril, his gaze remained composed, as if none of this concerned him. No rescue miraculously arrived in time. Dane's life ended in the rushing river. Time passed and the dark night slowly gave way as the warm sun finally awoke after ceding to the high moon. After drifting on, the current finally carried Seo Jun's motionless body to lie on a tree-shadowed river. From his own slender hand, fresh blood slowly flowed and mingled with the tranquil water below. As the world fell silent with farewell, someone's feet quietly stepped on the grass and approached. In no time, the figure closed the distance to the lifeless form lying there. Without questioning why the body was there, he simply crouched down. Then he took from Seo Jun's clothes an eagle-shaped badge that gleamed golden in the morning sun, making it stand out against the surroundings. Smirking triumphantly, the hooded figure turned out not to be a stranger, but Seo Jun, supposed to be in Dane's body for the game's purposes. As the system shifted his scene and spirit back into the player's character. Who would have guessed this cool reappearance would make Seo Jun's veteran livestream viewers both criticize and sob. Same old cutscene. Dane always died. He flat out declared with a deadpan face, "I caught that arrow, too bad for you." The audience immediately chimed in. "What a buzzkill, man, but bitterly honest. I actually believe you could have done it. You're on another level." Seo Jun was taken aback. It was a storm of criticism. And at the next moment, seeing the chat had gone on, he simply clapped loudly once. Then Seo Jun steered the topic back to the main point by asking the screen, "What do we do next?" Instantly, a seasoned player told him, "Go to the tavern and talk to Christina." He repeated it as if to confirm Christina. When he looked up again, Seo Jun's pupils caught the sign with a beer mug and sun icon. Come to think of it, that cutscene MUSD teleported us straight to the tavern. Without a moment's hesitation, he walked to the door handle and pulled it open. Stepping in felt like entering a whole different world, filled with lively chatter, unlike the silence outside. Amid the noisy crowd, Christina stood out like a ray of sunshine, her golden hair softly reflecting the light around her. Faced with this dazzling sight, Seo Jun couldn't help but be stunned internally. Yep, this interface screams, "Go talk to her." Closing the distance, he successfully drew the attention of the waitress behind the bar. With the gentle curve of his mouth, Christina slowly spoke her line, "May I ask what you need?" Looking up with a slightly dazed face, he honestly nodded and said, "Need? Oh yeah, I need a lot of things." As he lifted the eagle badge that once belonged to Dane, Seo Jun was speechless. His earlier performance replayed its lines on its own. Meanwhile, Christina's green eyes snapped sharply at the sight of the badge. The hand that had been polishing a cup began to tremble violently, the glass shaking uncontrollably. Her brows instantly knit, and her tone grew heavy as she asked the three-word question, "Who are you?" Smiling in perfect form, Seo Jun played the mysterious, competent persona the system forced on him. "No need to be wary. I'm here because I thought I could help." Christina, unsure what he just said, hesitated and countered, "What do you mean?" No flowery chatter, he cut straight to the point. "Let's just say I'm pretty confident in my assassination skill." After mulling that over for a long moment, her face lost the shock and turned serious. "Wait, you're from the West." Seeing she tossed another question with confirming tone, Seo Jun didn't hesitate to admit, That's right, you've heard of me. To fit the game's plot, his identity was built with lore in Christina's view. Rumor had it he's a mercenary who takes any job for the right price, so he's definitely not of the cult. After a long analysis in her data center brain, she nodded slightly as if making an official decision. Okay, at least let's exchange names. I'm Christina, and you. Faced with that reasonable question, Seo Jun regained control of the body and spoke the words, "My name is." Before he could finish, the system popped up a white box titled "What's your name?" with an input field below. Those who'd followed him from the start were surprised. Oh, finally nomming the account. Wait, Seo Jun is his real name. The real name sounds pretty legit, no kidding. Ignoring the comments, he fell into thought as his mind worked. The current livestream name is Shin Seo Jun. Since he hadn't set a nickname, the system defaulted to his real name. Play it safe. Using your real name is fine. However, when the answer to Christina's question left his lips, it was a completely different name. Nameless. Without hesitation, Seo Jun flashed teeth white enough to sell his own toothpaste and repeated, "My name is Nameless." The viewers erupted. Wait, what? Seriously named it Nameless? Literal much, dude too lazy to think. Little did they know his brain had plunged into old memories. Sounds silly now, but in his past life the name Nameless was huge, wuxia-style famous. Everyone was shouting the name Seo Jun picked. I am nameless, and I'm nameless the second. His lips twitched. It literally means no name, but it sounds cool and mysterious, which is why it was insanely trendy back then. After entering those two characters he chose, the system dutifully confirmed, "Do you want to use the name Nameless?" When Seo Jun confirmed by pressing yes, the notice updated. You can now accept assassination requests at the Sunlight Tavern, and Christina resumed her NPC guiding role. All right then, name locked as Nameless. To get straight to business, he asked the practical question for the situation. So how do we contact each other from now on? She slowly lifted the eagle badge belonging to Dane as she continued speaking. She put on a cold, businesslike face, though a flicker of feeling showed in her sharp eyes as she finished the line. I need to know the whereabouts of the owner of this pin. Viewers, however, only saw her indifferent look and cried out, "Poor Dane, that's sad." Their comments didn't affect Seo Jun's reply. I buried him at the West Dock. Her body froze for a moment, but quickly answered, "I understand." Not dwelling on it, she handed him a flower-shaped badge as shiny as the eagle one and said, "Use this to contact me from now on." The moment Seo Jun received the item, the system popped up. "You have obtained a signal stone." Then Christina spoke in her soft, distinctive tone, stressing each word. "I'm counting on you, Nameless." After chatting with her a while, he completed his objective and left the tavern, returning to the familiar quiet. He rubbed his shoulder and sighed in relief. Got the signal stone. Mission accomplished for today. Immediately an account named Patienton Whitehorse popped up asking, "So from now on we call the streamer Nameless, right?" These trivial matters weren't worth fretting over, so Seo Jun agreed flatly. "Sure, but I haven't picked a channel name yet, so call me whatever for now." Of course, Jome, now a rabid fan, chimed in. "Oh, Nameless is perfect for a top-tier assassin." Since he spent way too long in the VR pod finishing the newbie stage, he promptly announced under the soft sunlight, "All right then, I'll end the stream here. See you same time tomorrow." Viewers who stuck around cheered. First livestream a success. It was his first time really interacting with strangers on screen, so he felt a little shy as he slowly raised his hand. Stream sign off. But Seo Jun proved he's got view-drawing charisma when, in the next second, he joked, "Wait, are you all just leaving?" Then, shot back immediately, "Turn off the stream and leave. What else would you do, man?" As he transformed into a beam of light and nearly vanished, he even wondered aloud if the game auto-saves, prompting viewers still in the chat to comment, "This guy's joking till the last second. Oh my god, this newbie is adorably clueless." But whatever, the livestream officially ended the moment Seo Jun returned to the lit floor. Looking at the viewer count and the stream ended notice on his screen, he was thoughtful, then exclaimed in surprise, "Wow, all 6 viewers stayed until the very last second." Thinking of the viewers who'd left memorable impressions, Seo Jun felt moved. Their account names were pretty unique too. At the next moment, something popped up and grabbed his attention. Turns out some Futurelight player for some reason joined Seo Jun's stream. Is this a speedrun channel or what? The newbie, lacking experience, was baffled. Hey, wasn't there no notification just now? And it seems the view count keeps climbing, which makes Seo Jun even more suspicious. Why are people suddenly coming in? I clearly turned the livestream off. After Seo Jun's shocking livestream, his phone screen kept flashing with a flood of comments and hot posts about the anonymous racer shooting up the charts, making the quiet room suddenly live. Lying on the bed, scrolling through reactions and casually dragging the chat that was scrolling like crazy, Kim Tae-woo couldn't help but marvel. Today's livestream feedback isn't bad. What should I do next for content? Just as he was lost in thought, Seo Jun suddenly shoved the door open and yelled in full force, Hey Kim Ti-woo. The phone in his hand flew straight into his nose. Damn, you scared me. Holding his face that just taken the direct hit from his own device, he gritted his teeth in righteous pain. Are you eating dinner tonight? Or did you swallow your manners with your food? Ignoring the other's about to crazy expression, Seo Jun immediately held out the phone with a puzzled look. I'm a newbie streamer. How did this even happen? Ti-woo looked up confused. What do you mean? Pointing at the screen overflowing with player accounts and rapid-fire comments, he voiced his suspicion. The livestream was turned off, so why's the chat still going non-stop like this? Witnessing his friend suddenly on the rise, Ti-woo fell silent for a moment before exclaiming, no way, for real. After checking back and forth and scrolling through the wildly trending posts on the forum, Ti-woo finally said, I think it's because of this. He turned the phone towards Seo Jun and bluntly stated, this is you right. On the screen was a video of him, clearing the dawn stage of the Assassin Squad with a clickbait title. A newbie tanks and wipes 13 monsters at once in the tutorial. Seeing shares skyrocket and comments bustling like an online market, Ti-woo showed admiration. How are you this good? Debut a few days and fans are already promoting you. Meanwhile, Seo Jun looked blank, not understanding the new term, promote. Seeing he still hadn't caught up, Ti-woo pointed at the post and emphasized each word. Isn't this what you'd call promoting? By then the comments hit 154. This guy's skill is insane, mowing down tutorial bosses like a Three Kingdoms game. Tanking perfectly is peak, absolutely peak. No one can copy this move, look at that play. Living legend, I'm gonna promote this guy. Share to everyone, too crazy. Seo Jun suddenly realized one of them. The so-called Korean champion assassin was the viewer from earlier. Taking the phone back, Ti-woo assessed. At this rate, you'll hit 30 supports soon, right? Then grinning from his experience as a streamer, he told Seo Jun excitedly. Once you hit 30 supports, you get pushed to the front page. Followers will shoot up like crazy. He even gave a thumbs up despite dark circles under his eyes. Go to sleep, man, you streamed all night yesterday. So pro. But Seo Jun dryly replied, go to sleep now? What's so pro about that? That said, night had filled the sky with stars, and Seo Jun still scrolled. This whole experience was still new to him. Even after a long watch, he wasn't bored and kept muttering. The supports keep increasing, so this is that promoting thing he mentioned. Anyway, it was late, so Seo Jun put the phone on the table and decided not to dig deeper. Let's see tomorrow. The moment the room fell silent, the video still racked up likes and comments, as if no one planned to sleep. The next morning, sunlight pierced the clouds and washed the rows of high-rises, the glass facades reflecting brilliant light across the skyline. Seeing the posts and trending topics hit the top searches, Seo Jun couldn't help but admit it. Just as Kim Ti-woo predicted, the supports had passed 30. Relying on the data processing part of his brain, Seo Jun couldn't help feeling anxious instead of happy. Whenever something gets a bit hot, drama and factions always show up. While still scrolling, his sharp eyes suddenly stopped midline, as if something had grabbed his attention. His mouse snapped back to the post that had just appeared. This is the Assassin Squad forum, but people also post about the training ground. Clicking it opened the full shared post and headline. Why is the level 10 AI update so annoying? Everyone knows the level 10 AI switched from Haiyan's data to another player's data, right? The display name is anonymous. Maybe that's why everyone's curious about Anonymous's identity, but I'm more interested in its personality. I watched a clip of a guy I know fighting Anonymous. Here's that clip. I asked the original poster before sharing, sweat beading on his cheek. Seo Jun was a bit surprised because his AI was clearly recreated from himself, personality and all. The poster went on. Shin Hayon AI used to stand and wait when a player dropped their sword, right? It would just silently wait for the player to continue after getting hit and defeated, until it encountered the level 10 build set by Seo Jun's attributes. But this anonymous AI, the moment a player exposes a flank, this bastard lunges like he's found gold. As soon as a player slips up, it just crushes them flat. No matter how much screaming, I surrender. And it doesn't stop there. This AI baited people so well by beckoning them in that everyone who met it screamed. It even shows contempt openly. More than one person was affected. The flurry of furious comments all pounded straight into Seo Jun's head. What the heck? About that smug attitude of the new level 10 AI version, he suddenly remembered. We were probably chatting with Ti-woo while playing, so it acted like that. And the data updates felt like endless grinding, so it got too bored to behave kind of unfair to me, actually. Even though he'd only been in this VR game less than a day, Seo Jun was slapped with the label toxic troll, and it hurt, totally unjust. While the forum split into heated camps, a social media account left a notable comment. Just watch the training clip. Hey, is that Lord Anonymous? Reading that, Seo Jun paused briefly, someone guessed already. But when he checked the commenter's username closely, all his tension drained. Oh, it's old Jom, Korea's champion assassin. Does the guy have divine instincts or what? This is getting intimidating. He leaned back and watched the comment count keep climbing, quietly rethinking everything. Honestly, I didn't expect this much attention. Closing his eyes for a few seconds, Seo Jun felt for the first time the pressure of fame coming too fast. Getting something sudden and huge isn't necessarily good. But that thought passed quickly as he pushed it aside. Didn't past life experience already teach him that lesson? Opening the VR rig's compartment beside his desk, Seo Jun calmly concluded to himself, "Power before you're ready is like poison." Sitting down in the pod to log in, he firmly set the mantra in his mind, slow and steady. The system's consciousness transfer kicked in the moment Seo Jun closed his eyes. In the next moment his eyes reopened, with the resolve and sharpness of a sword god weathered by countless trials. Improve a little each day. By the time the last word fell, the system's light flashed, confirming it was working properly. A while later, seeing his livestream page hit 432, he had to admit, just like T-Woo said, follower count really did jump up. Staring at the streaming stats jumping before him, Seo Jun's mouth twitched as memories of yesterday replayed. But the kicker was that only 6 people actually tuned into the live stream yesterday. But he didn't linger in the waiting room. He decisively put his hand on the start broadcast button, wondering how many people would show up today. The moment the live stream button was activated, the system interface flashed and a message popped up center screen. Shin Seo Jun has started broadcasting. Shortly after, the game officially launched its first intro sequence, leading him into a place completely different from the Assassin Squad's dawn, the city of Eltian. Low, dramatic music swelled as an ancient castle loomed ahead, the game's setting, the city of Elton. For players needing quests, the system helpfully supplied more data. The city's divided into 4 main districts: the royal palace for the aristocracy and highest power characters. The high tower is where the clerics and mages reside. The upper district is where the nobles live. And the common district on the city's outer rim is for everyday folk and all sorts hustling to make a living. Seo Jun's mind kept turning. Players can accept assassination quests anywhere, but I heard in actual play you can also wander and do random kills without taking a quest first. When the intro info finished, his journey in Eltian officially began. And the moment his body was no longer system-controlled was the moment he raised his hand to the screen and said, "Hello, livestream." At that instant, the chat, previously quiet, exploded like a disturbed beehive. Finally in the room, let's go fam, finally in the legendary livestream channel. Oh wait, it's not Jome's channel, Goosebumps, Lord Anonymous. While viewers spammed, one skeptical account popped up asking, is this that famous Jome's livestream? Within a second, someone shot back hard. No man, wrong pen, big oops. Seo Jun just chuckled and casually clarified, "Yup, this isn't Jome's channel, and FYI I didn't bribe him either," which made everyone laugh and shut the argument down in a heart. Just as the mood was cheerful, a surprise support notification appeared mid-screen. "How do I even? Donated 10,000. Watched your clip and tried to solo him but couldn't. What do I do now? I'll hold my breath waiting for your reply." Seeing the first donation amount in front of him, he raised an eyebrow with some feeling. My first support. But why waste it in the woods like that? Not dwelling on it, living by take money, give value. He didn't hesitate to give a tip. "Thanks for the support. That Eder, just keep hitting one spot repeatedly. Easy peasy, right?" The chat went silent for a beat, then erupted. "What is this professor scribbling on the board? That guide helps a ton. As someone who's watched since yesterday, I advise y'all not to ask this guy anything. 10,000 straight into the trash." Watching their comments, he fell into thought and concluded that his reply to a first-time donor sounded a bit vague. So Seo Jun rubbed his chin, thought for a moment, and said, "Okay then, if I were to give a useful tip." He pictured the target's weak spots, shoulders, head, and groin, and advised, "Aim straight for NPC weak points. Once they get hit, they'll panic, and their stance will open up immediately." He finished with, basically beat one spot, wait for the opening, then stab the weak point, dodge quickly. Just as he finished, a player who just watched the movie donated 1,000. I'm breathing again, others chimed in laughing, but Seo Jun looked puzzled. "Congrats, buddy." He scrolled through the recent commenter IDs, curious, and noticed many strange new nicknames he'd never seen. How many viewers are there today? His finger froze midair when he saw the staggering number on the screen. Currently 327 live viewers, comments flooding. "When will you post a guide for us? Is my connection lagging alone?" He had no mood to care. 327 viewers, seriously. This made Seo Jun, who'd lived through countless events in his past life, break out in a sweat in this life too, way more than he imagined. "I thought it'd peak around 100 people. Putting that aside, he glanced at the chat and curiously asked everyone, "All right then, what should we do today, folks?" Taking fan suggestions, the viewers on screen began proposing wildly. "Do a 3 Kingdom-style sweep, streamer, finally gonna see sword dancing." Seeing them online making a fuss and throwing accusations like fortune tellers, he chuckled delightedly. These brats have fun together. Please don't fight, okay? At that moment, a user offered a more sensible idea than the high-up bunch. Just stroll around and see, old man. If you want money, take a job from the Assassin Guild or pickpocket, or just sightsee the city, perfect, true open-world vibes. Every comment made sense and Seo Jun hesitated, so many opinions. As if he'd hit on something, a sly grin curled his lips, so for now. Standing in the crowded street, Seo Jun made a bold decision. I'll do a few light pickpocket jobs to warm up, see how it goes. The noisy calls echoed through the little street. Cheap, super cheap, rare goods here, oh my, buy this for me, mom. Suddenly a rider barreled through causing chaos. Watch out, clear the way. The man was completely off guard when a shadow darted past him. Then he belligerently shouted an accusation. Hey, kid, how are you walking? Can't you watch where you're going? Even after the other left, the street still carried his curses. You insolent brat. Seo Jun didn't get angry. He deftly slipped through the sea of people instead. He gave a small, satisfied smile, tried out those pickpocket tricks. Who knew it'd be this easy? 3 successful lifts in a row. The comments immediately erupted. Whoa, is this the martial world's top streamer or a thief stream? What's this streamer even? Street-raised origin or what? Rumor says he time-traveled from Wuxia world. Netizens roared with laughter, and the funniest part of pickpocketing is watching guards chase you. Seo Jun grew more confident. At this rate, he won't starve anyway. He flashed the bulging coin pouches and everyone gasped. Boss, enough to buy a luxury condo already. Suddenly a deep voice rang out, shattering the quiet. Hey kid, stop right there. A tall, imposing figure had, somehow, approached Seo Jun's territory. He probed with mild suspicion. Me. The man gruffly interrogated. Yeah, who else? Looks like you scored something decent, huh? The thug slowly stepped closer with an implication. You know, doing business here means you need our permission, right? Seo Jun stayed calm. Business. He went straight to the point. You mean this? The other guy perked up at once. Yeah, that's it. The man put on a sly look and proposed. Seeing you hauling that haul, share some with us. Seo Jun could only shake his head in exasperation. What kind of game is this where you pickpocket without guards and then run into a boss to extort? Comments kept popping. Virtual freedom is wild. Beat them and eat them alive, pro, party time. Finally about to watch, Seo Jun coldly slapped the man's hand away. Take these guys out too, team. They grew more excited than ever. Right, go in now. You just need to beat the boss and it's done. Take out their leader, and this whole market's clear. Seo Jun smiled and stowed the coin pouches. All right then, today's stream goal is to clean this market up nice and tidy. The screen instantly flooded with comments. Pro's gonna hunt the Butcher's Guild. Testing himself on the Butcher's Guild. This match is juicy, you'd be mad to miss it. But this streamer doesn't even know what the Butcher's Guild is. His face went blank. What's tank even mean? Viewer count kept climbing. All right, let's roll. Elsewhere, chaotic shouts came through. It hasn't gone far, find it fast. Logan couldn't hide his irritation at losing the prey that had been right in front of him. Suddenly, a hand peeked down from above, as if trying to hide its existence. Alpaca's face drained of color while attempting a barehanded assassination challenge. Oh crap, I think I got caught again. He strained to observe the battlefield below, swearing the camera angle was seriously cursed. He'd been so hyper-focused, he didn't notice the candle at his hand had reached its limit. The candle stub immediately fell straight onto Logan's head. You little rat. He shouted angrily. Got you. Alpaca's body went numb as if struck at pressure points. Damn, I'm busted. The moment he was discovered coincided with the system, announcing the end of the run. He had to return to the starting line once more. He'd lost count of how many times the henchman had nabbed. Viewers watching felt the same helplessness. 4th time already. Damn, Alpaca blushed with embarrassment and thanked. He slumped and complained. If only I could take down Drake, District 4 would be cleared, but it's tough. Netizens were at a loss too. Seriously. Even if it's Tangerine season you couldn't manage, the rulers are basically unbeatable. Rulers is the term for the bosses leading the gangs that control District 4 of Eltian, the game's notorious villains. They include the Queen, the nation's ruler. Next is the Master of the Magic Tower, 1 against 10,000. Not to mention the Royal Commander, heavy hitters among the nobility. And the boss of the Butcher's Guild, like Drake. Drake pops up randomly in his lair, so finding him is exhausting. Alpaca quickly opened the trade window and pulled up the Butcher's Guild's secret map. Even viewers were fed up. This again. He let out a heavy sigh to check where old Drake was hiding this time. The result that appeared made him even more weary. Another troop. The old man crawled into another troublesome spot again. The announcement kept getting louder. Crazy Dog donated 10,000 to the troop. Just go wreck the map. But I saw someone solo build the map barehanded, so why are you struggling so much? Alpaca skeptically asked. Thanks Crazy Dog for the 10,000, but what do you mean wreck the map? You know the game doesn't let you play that sweep style. The crowd gasped. No way, you don't read the community forum. He immediately updated himself on the forum buzz. His eyes suddenly lit up. Oh, someone actually did it on the forum. Thousands of bright scenarios painted themselves in Alpaca's head. If that person could sweep through this map, then I'll go bow to them as master and personally deal with old Drake. A round-the-clock stream challenge. He declared firmly, I'll stream non-stop until we sweep up Drake under the master's guidance. The chat instantly went wild. Dropout student donated 10,001. Do you stand by that claim? But he kept his arrogant promise. Bring it on, I'll take responsibility, not scared, it's impossible anyway. Donations are easy money. Sudden peals of triumphant laughter came through the screen, sending a shiver down him. A crazy thought flashed through Alpaca. Wait, is this for real? He nervously probed. If the one who beat that is a pro player, then I'll cancel the all-night stream bet. The crowd immediately jumped in to taunt him. Chicken now, huh? The terrifying power of netizens showed itself again. Wake up, Alpaca, haha, accept the loss. The donations kept rising until his face drained of color. Crazy Dog donated 10,001. Alpaca was deflated. In stark contrast to that calm scene, Seo Jun's side had descended into utter chaos. Shouts rang out repeatedly in the air. The intruder's gone downstairs. Stop him at all costs. Dozens of guards gradually gathered to surround the prey. But Seo Jun's nonchalant stance still stunned everyone. Also looks like the pro is about to clear the stage soon. Flashback 30 minutes to before the comment by TH letter 1E7N, QUY letter 1EC1N appeared. Footsteps pounded rapidly through the narrow alley. The chat buzzed nonstop. Where are they hauling the old man off to? This alley reeks of shady business. Seo Jun sighed and shook his head. Fine, I'll tail them for now, but the viewers shut him down. You got any clout? No way you'll dig up info on Drake. They all chimed in to warn him. To find a traitor in the gang, you first have to clear the related side quests, making him curious. Is this gang really that hard to take down? Viewers couldn't hide their helplessness. Buddy, you're trying to overthrow a whole ruler, think it's easy. Seo Jun's face went blank. Ruler, what's that? The live chat immediately exploded with comments. Our streamer as expected, newbies you all see this. This reminds me, what's tank again? Haha, you think you're joking with us. Everyone cracked up laughing again, dying from laughter. No way, someone donated 1,000, claiming to hunt a ruler without even knowing what that is. Seo Jun's brows drew together. I'm asking what that is, can someone explain? The crowd rushed to mock him. What do you expect from a guy who doesn't even know tanking? He felt a pang of unease. I did look up Drake's strategies last night, but he exhaled heavily. The guides always expose informants who then get revenge, so every chosen target seems risky. Then he suddenly thought of a perfect plan. Just beat them so badly they won't dare think of revenge. Problem solved, too simple. JAD in Quote's voice snapped him back to reality. Hey you, spill whatever good stuff you got while I'm still being nice. The guy gave a sly grin. Even the wallet you stole earlier, hand it over. Viewers cringed for him, not surprised at all. He's taken on 13 guys before. This is just a mosquito to him. Jadon, oblivious to danger, confidently stepped closer. Are you crazy? I said spit it out. Even Trevor beside him chuckled. Boss, this brat's so scared he's gone mad. They kept mocking Seo Jun's look. Take it easy on him. Boss, look, we're scaring you. Hand over the cash and we'll spare your miserable life. Only the netizens sensed the truth. His face actually looked pissed off. Seo Jun calmly asked, do you guys know where Drake is? Jadon looked puzzled. He's our boss, of course we know. He husked each word out low, which made the thug flare up in anger. Are you crazy? Why the hell should we tell you? Seo Jun tightened his hand into a fist. Is that so? A smile slowly crept across his handsome face. Then take a punch first, talk later. He said with relish. Fists really are the universal language. Meanwhile JADN still hadn't realized what's up. What the hell is this bastard rambling about? He shouted angrily, hey, get in there and teach him a lesson, quick. No sooner said than they leapt in to gang up on Seo Jun. But his nimble moves let him dodge every strike with ease. His close combat skill had only grown sharper with each encounter. Dante yelled in fury, you little rat. Without hesitation, he lunged his weapon straight at Seo Jun. Instead, Seo Jun casually grabbed the attacker's leg. In less than a few seconds, he easily toppled his opponent. Dante writhed in pain, eyes bulging, gasping for air as if choked. But Seo Jun showed no mercy. He drew a weapon to finish the job. Trevor couldn't stand it and charged in to fight. You bastard. He didn't hesitate to land a brutal blow on Seo Jun. Just when it seemed he'd win, his body suddenly trembled uncontrollably. Seo Jun's gaze turned piercingly sharp, pressing down on his foe with lethal intent. He didn't waste words and simply incapacitated the attacker. His handsome face showed not a flicker of emotion, like he'd done this 1,000 times before. Suddenly the alley fell eerily quiet, leaving Seo Jun alone in the narrow lane. The chat loved the eye candy. That sweep through the map was slick. Anyone thinking of trying that, stop dreaming. Jaden's face had gone completely pale. Damn it. A thought of fleeing flickered, and then his body suddenly went rigid and immobile. Seo Jun asked sternly, "Where's Drake?" The man stubbornly stuck to his story. "I'd rather die than tell you." No sooner had he finished than the sword in Jaden's hand warped from the overwhelming force of the man before him. Seo Jun's face darkened as he growled, "Where's Drake?" Netizens groaned. "Dude, he's passed out. He can't say a thing even if you ask." His eyes flashed with threatening killing intent. "Answer now," viewers shivered. "Is this a new torture method? The Lord's gone mad." Jaden stammered shakily. Block 13. His whole body was flattened on the floor, the grandest theater. The chat erupted. "This makes no sense. He's a demon incarnate. That IQ moment just opened a new path. Goosebumps. Tried to block. Donated 1001. Eder, man, you tried your best to stop a monster like this. Clear Eder's name fast. He died on duty." Seo Jun sighed and fiddled with the weapon in his hand. "This dagger's too short and awkward to hold." He scanned the area. "Is there anything better around here?" Suddenly he spotted a useful item not far off. "That one looks decent." Metal clanged repeatedly, echoing from one space to another. Thousands of people scattered through the street, as if a single slow step would cost them their lives. Seo Jun's face expressionless as he cleared every area. He used his nimble moves to effortlessly deal with every roadblock. Even the toughest beings fell before his terrifying power. Seo Jun casually admired the feats he'd just created. He shook his head in annoyance. The DEVS really went too far, stuffing 30 guys into this tiny theater and telling me to assassinate them. No wonder viewers are mad. Who's speaking for us then? Suddenly a sour voice rang out, shattering the quiet. "Approve." No sooner had the words ended than a glowing object was launched into the air as a challenge. Seo Jun's eyes bulged in surprise, but he quickly recovered his usual calm. Sudden metallic shrieks echoed, directly knocking at his composure. A barrage of throwing knives flew in, as if to take his whole body. His gaze turned icy and determined. In an instant, a storm of blades hurtled toward him. Seo Jun immediately shattered the attack with a powerful technique. "So you were planning to tank that hit instead of dodging. Reflexes are insane." Heavy footsteps and a taunting voice echoed. "Not bad." Drake's lips slowly curled with meaning, but he declared boldly with a taunting air, "Can you even withstand this attack of mine?" The space trembled violently. Dozens of swords streaked like missiles. He kept a nonchalant look, crowds going wild. Seo Jun spun his weapon into a circle. His eyes turned razor-sharp. The swords plunged into the wall. Cold, deep cracks etched into the surface. Suddenly, one sword spun back. It pierced through Drake and slammed into the wall. Epic. His mouth curled with meaning. Those incoming strikes, and he still parried them smoothly. Is there anything this man can't block? Viewers called it spot on. The man's gaze turned intrigued. "Not bad, what's your name?" Seo Jun's voice deep and authoritative. "Anonymous." A notification popped up. Normally they don't even ask names, must be scared. Drake's face showed mixed emotions. "Nice name, the strong deserve respect." Red spears linked to chains hovered in the air, so he declared wildly and loudly, "I'll go all out." He charged at high speed. Seo Jun kept his calm stance facing him. Seo Jun was now surrounded by heavy moving chains. A spear suddenly attacked him from behind. In a split second with his quick move, Seo Jun countered forcefully with a kick. He fell into a brief musing. When he was only throwing knives, I thought he'd be easier than Eder. Seo Jun's gaze darkened heavily. Turns out that very weapon had been stopping everyone from clearing the stage. Drake slowly advanced with murderous intent. Seo Jun shot a mocking line about how it's an assassination game, but Melee looks underfunded, and the feed lit up with messages suggesting the devs actually want players to play like sweeping warriors. Melee was meant to be a core part of Dawn Assassination from the corner of the guy's mouth curled teasingly. "You won't step up." Drake's eyes bulged with madness then. "Fine, I'll go first." He launched a direct attack at him. Seo Jun flinched as the iron chains prepared to lunge. In a flash, they slid past him cleanly. Drake immediately charged when he saw Seo Jun stepping back. Alerts popped up nonstop. "Look at him just taking hits. Even Anonymous would cave with this Drake. That combo was never meant to be tanked." Earlier he was cocky though. Seo Jun's face mixed emotions. This is clearly harder than handling 13 guys at once. Seo Jun kept his calm stance facing him, but his lips pressed together. "Even if it's mountain blades and forest swords, I can still see the way through." He surged forward wildly, there blocking the path. The man suddenly paused and asked doubtfully, "Just the two of you?" Drake's expression flickered when faced with the powerful weapon. "You really thought we'd just let you walk through, huh?" His footing wavered as he staggered back. Drake's whole body trembled as he strained to hold the defense. He took 3 hits. Seo Jun's face mixed complex emotions. A one-shot move against regular mobs, but versus a boss like Drake it only buys time for a counter. He was protected by tight iron chains. Even that was hard to crack because Drake's chains guarded him thoroughly, barely landing a decent hit. The corner of his mouth twitched meaningfully, but that doesn't apply to me. Seo Jun tightened his grip on the weapon. I just have to land my strikes precisely. His expression turned serious. Seo Jun's footsteps dug into the ground with weight, the stance I've practiced tens of thousands of times to hone my blade. Rooted stance. He remained composed while channeling energy. The power from his lower body was rock solid, a superior. Seo Jun cultivated internal energy that felt like extreme pressure building before the strike, his eyes focused and razor-sharp. His presence utterly dominated the psychological field. The direct strike to the head left Drake dazed. The insane force sent him crashing down. The screen seemed to explode. What just happened? Drake's armor shattered, looked as easy as candy. The truth is, when someone makes it look super easy, they're the real pro. His face mixed emotions again. Because this is VR, the body's a bit different, so at first I wasn't sure either, but in the end it's fine. Seo Jun felt every movement of his body, starting from foot placement. He controlled his body rhythmically, rotating his upper torso. Seo Jun drifted into a brief reverie about the arc of his arm. The corner of his mouth slowly tilted in meaning. Every moment was adjusted to the most optimal posture. Suddenly the chains lunged like a storm. Even if the bodies changed, it doesn't matter. Seo Jun went on high alert. He quickly stepped back to dodge the attack. The guy's face twisted with fury. You bastard, die. The spears attached to the chains flew straight at Seo Jun. They wrapped tightly around the weapon in his hand. Seo Jun's gaze sharpened, his demeanor turning fear. He decisively counterattacked, making the air itself tremble. The chains now lay on the ground, snapping in segments. That move won't work a second time. Seo Jun's footwork grew rapid and intense. He leaped into the air and launched a finishing strike at Drake. This is fun. Nothing beats the moment you swing a weapon like this. Seo Jun's mouth curled with mockery, the only proof of my past life. A blinding light flooded the entire space. Swords drove deep into the ground. His eyes turned blood red with frenzy. Seo Jun poured all his strength into his arm. The finishing blow hit so hard the space seemed to quake. His HP was now completely drained. He nonchalantly read the notification. You have defeated the fake boss Drake. Reward 1 shard. Comments flooded in. Anonymous is God. Mom, I'm witnessing the first world clear ever. Assassin Jome donated 101. This is the hope of the warrior school. Seo Jun cheerfully said, thanks to Assassin Jome for the 101 donation. He froze as he noticed the viewer count. Seo Jun's face mixed emotions. When did the viewers spike like this? Seo Jun suddenly felt empty. He blushed, suddenly embarrassed. Seo Jun drifted into thought. Kim Ti-woo told me not to worry about viewer counts, but Ti-woo fiercely insisted, even if there's only 1 viewer at first, you must perform your best. If people suddenly flood in, don't get cocky. Do you hear me? This is hard-earned advice, soaked in sweat and tears from your friend. His mouth twitched with meaning, but it's hard not to enjoy it too much. Seo Jun's face mixed emotions. Also, this is the first time in the world someone's cleared it right. Comments kept coming. This is how he proves his skill. Wow, insane. Dude's basically soloing a whole different game. Drops of blood fell from the pipe onto the ground. Assassin Spoon donated 10,001. Scarier is he actually beat it with an iron pipe. Comments debated, what if this fight didn't have a damage buff? So what? He'd still steamroll it, that's what makes it terrifying. He casually said, thanks to Assassin Spoon for the 10,001 donation. Seo Jun's eyes grew puzzled. Oh, I have a question. He stood tall in the gloomy scene. Where are the guards? A notice popped up. The world's guards are like cops in movies, never show up on duty. The guards cowered in a corner, trembling. This assassin is too scary. They immediately chased after them. These guys are easy pickings, take them out. He ran away in fear, save me. A comment read, when I go pick pockets they suddenly lurk around. Seo Jun's face mixed emotions. I see. Well then, shall we be off? The sunset gradually descended. He strolled slowly down the bustling street. Seo Jun froze as a voice called out. Anonymous. A man in black stood opposite him, cloak pulled tight over his head. Seo Jun's voice dropped, powerful. Who is it? Christina tightened her hooded cloak. Her expression mixed emotions. You defeated Drake. A notification popped up. Christina is absolutely stunning. Christina immediately handed over a bag with sincere manner. Thanks to you, we've taken another step toward escaping oppression. Her face remained calm. Thank you, here is your reward. He paused with a skeptical look. You have received currency. Seo-jun looked puzzled. I didn't even accept a quest to kill it, and there's a reward. A notice chimed. I was just staring at Christina's face. What's going on here? Right, they still hand out rewards even without taking the commission. He muttered, I don't even have anywhere to spend the money. A laugh crossed the feed. Pipes litter the streets. Who needs cash anyway? Seo-jun smirked teasingly. If I'm not taking the money, why did I kill it? Poor Drake's probably confused. Christina asked slowly, so where do we go next? He cut her off decisively. Do I have to tell you? Her expression was a tangle of feelings. Fine then. Christina turned on her heel and left. I'll go ahead then. See you, Anonymous. Seo-jun drifted into a moment of thoughtfulness. He kept his casual composure, so then. Seo-jun's gaze turned toward the ancient castle. Does this count as a successful assassination? A notification appeared. I never admitted this was an assassination anyway. Do you even know what assassination means? Comments poured in. That shameless blank stare is his charm. He looked puzzled. Is it time to celebrate the victory? Seo-jun replied sarcastically and nonchalantly. I've finished everything that needed doing. Now I'm going to party. A notification cut in. Wait a minute. A series of pleading sounds rang out. Wait, how did this end so easily? He ignored the notifications and said firmly, see you next time. Seo-jun was drifting into sleepiness. Soon after, he lazily stretched as he woke. Seo-jun froze as Ti-woo appeared. He immediately demanded, annoyed, hey, why are you slacking off? What the hell are you doing in someone else's room? Ti-woo raised an eyebrow and said indifferently, I'm off today so I watched your live stream. Top tier roles. Seo-jun, holding back his anger, then why are you in my room watching? And get your foot off me right now. Ti-woo teased, my room is my room and your room is also my room. Why so picky? He grabbed a pillow and wildly smacked him with it. From now on, kids, please hurry and pee. A moment later, Seo-jun remained unbothered. We can resume now. How's the stream? Any feedback? Ti-woo watched the screen intently and exclaimed, for 440 viewers, this vibe is pretty lit. He snatched the phone decisively. Let me see. Ti-woo protested annoyed. My phone. The cursor immediately moved across the screen. Seo-jun's eyes darkened and he looked mad. Where's Drake? The screen notified. Not yet. He's still dazed and hasn't come to. A flurry of news sites kept reporting. Who is that guy? Anonymous. Top post from now on. Whoever doubts Anonymous is my enemy. 102 likes. They say we were testing Eder's strength so Drake got taken out too. Any opinions? Sounds like a light novel title. What's this shard? Never seen it before. I played the beta and saw the ending and still never saw that item. What the heck? Isn't that given when you defeat Drake? No, you don't get it just by beating Drake. Only if you beat him in warrior mode. Curiosity level off the charts. His expression mixed emotions. Seems there's still no info about the order shard. Seo-jun froze with suspicion. Only obtainable in warrior mode. What on earth is this item for? Negative comments popped up on his phone screen. If you guys are getting hyped about my inside jokes, I'll just heart them. Ti-woo's lips curled mischievously. Once you get famous, you'll have to take some heat too. His face showed mixed feelings. You kinda like attention too, don't you? Seo-jun's voice sank heavy. If something like this happens, what would you do? He replied nonchalantly. What do you mean what I'd do? We have like 400 viewers. Ti-woo casually stepped out of the room and exclaimed, there are over 10,000 followers on social media right now. He fell into thought for a moment. So this is telling me to get even more famous. But how? Seo-jun froze again, full of doubt. A slew of articles went up, and his eyes turned puzzled. Alpaca, sharing info about the legendary final capsule of the late great, the VR chamber. 1.7 million views. 3 days ago, he boldly declared, provocatively, I'll keep trying until I beat Drake in warrior mode. I'm paying my respects to my master. Seo-jun's mouth slowly twitched up. Can you shoulder the responsibility for saying that? I'll take responsibility by failing epically then. Ti-woo paused at a call. Ti-woo. He walked into the room and slowly asked, do you know a streamer named Alpaca? Ti-woo replied casually, of course, we've collabed a few times. What's up? Seo-jun's lips curled with meaning. Got a little favor to ask. Cut to a dense forest scene. Alpaca slumped down exhausted. How many failures has this been now? His face darkened as he watched the screen. M3 is me. This guy plays like garbage, seriously. Just quit the game and stop attempting this bare-handed challenge already. Alpaca's mood plummeted like falling into an abyss. That little ruthless brat. ISHOULD finished Drake off using the fame from killing other NPCs. He suddenly froze with a skeptical look. D-back suddenly appeared with a cold glare. Alpaca trembled as he stepped closer and softly called, D-back. He immediately spat at him. Folks, D-back's here to cheer you on. The the screen announced, Debek has arrived. Alpaca's face darkened with fury. I've seen this so many times, and I still can't get this trick to sink in. His gaze fell in helpless resignation. There's nothing fun to play with here, is there? The screen displayed a notification. If I succeed, I'll venerate that person as my master, learn from them, and keep challenging until I beat Drake in warrior mode. Alpaca froze, skeptical. What? Someone actually soloed it. You're kidding, right? He slowly reached toward the screen, a title link. Drake, cunning, clicked to view. Alpaca's expression mixed emotions. For real, you even faked this to trick me. I told you this stunt wouldn't work on me. Seo Jun's image instantly popped up in chat. The first to solo anonymous, Drake, cunning. A chill ran down his spine. What the? They actually beat it. Who the hell is this person? Alpaca still hadn't recovered. Anonymous. A message was sent immediately. He opened it with suspicion. Damn, I fell for that hard. Now what? Alpaca's eyes darkened. He stared intently at the message from T-Woo. Cut to the high-rise building of the Korean game company. Steam rose slowly from the cup of coffee. The corner of Bae Mo's mouth curled in satisfaction. He savored it slowly and remarked, "Smells heavenly." The door suddenly burst open. Boss. Bae Mo snapped, "Can't you knock?" Kwak-hal awkwardly replied, "Sorry, boss." Bae Mo frowned, irritated. "What's all the fuss about?" He hurriedly blurted out, "Right, it's a mess, boss." Kwak-hal went pale with anxiety. A dominator was just defeated. Hearing that, he slammed his hand on the desk. And it was soloed. That's even worse. Bae Mo's face darkened. Which dominator? His tone grew heavy. Drake. He sighed, "Gave me a scare." Drake, he's the weakest of them anyway. Bae Mo remained nonchalant. He was bound to go down sooner or later. Kwak-hal's voice trembled. But what if players get curious about the order shard? He waved it off decisively. "Nonsense, don't worry. If all the order shards are collected, it could affect our current plans." But his expression fell heavy. "You were the one who designed the safety system and put it in the game in the first place." A shard bearing mad power appeared. Order Shard 1-4. A hidden item obtainable by defeating an Eltian dominator via special route. The space trembled as a power struck head-on. The item can only be obtained by soloing the dominator. However, some gatekeeper dominators cannot be defeated without a certain skill. A notification popped up. Skill not unlocked, can be obtained via a special route. A helpless groan echoed, "Get me out of this, what a pain." Mysterious skills are laid out with many traps. That skill is designed to take players quite a while to unlock. The screen flashed red. "You've been playing over 10 hours, please take a break." A slew of articles appeared on the front page. In other words, there's currently no reason to panic. Kwak-hal's face showed mixed emotions, but he still felt uneasy and hesitated. What if that 1 in a million chance actually happens? And on top of that, the person who did it was a streamer who just went live a few minutes ago. Bae Mo frowned in annoyance. "You're too loud, get back to work." He suddenly paused with a suspicious look. About 2 seconds. Bae Mo's voice dropped with authority. "How do you know he just finished a live stream? Sounds like you were watching a stream during work hours." Kwak-hal flinched. "Well, that is." His eyes bulged with displeasure. "I'm actually docking your pay for this." He spun and left decisively. "Please spare my life, boss." Bae Mo stood up, holding back his anger. "That kid's something else. Leave this for the performance review." He grew puzzled. "They won't really collect all that stuff, will they?" A doubtful voice slowly rang out. A collaborative live stream. Alpaca stayed nonchalant. "Told you so earlier, didn't I?" Suhan asked confusedly. "Today, really?" He watched the updates intently. "Are you actually going through with it? This collab wouldn't help scouting talent at all." His face showed mixed emotions. "Suhan, you're misunderstanding something." Alpaca clenched his fist and declared, "He's not coming as a regular guest." He jumped up, excited, "but as a top-tier Grandmaster guest, who's in high demand." Suhan immediately quipped sarcastically, "A Grandmaster? Come on, he's only been streaming a few days." Alpaca raised an eyebrow. "You saw the system notification too, remember? Want me to replay it for you?" His tone grew low and cutting. "So what if he's good at an assassination game? I only respect players from pro tournaments. Put that away." He sighed and said indifferently, "This famous kid, seriously. Hey, can you lend Seo Jun your spare pod later?" Suhan frowned. "What? You have an extra pod, right?" Alpaca remained casual. "I heard his sync rate is a bit low. You upgraded to that expensive model, so it should work fine." He refused coldly. "Absolutely not. Didn't you just call him a Grandmaster? How can a Grandmaster have such a low sync rate? At least hype it up a bit." Suhan turned and left decisively. "I'll watch the collab reaction, so call me when he shows up." His expression sank and he muttered, This guy's picky as hell. Why'd he get mad for no reason? Alpaca froze, suspicious. Wait a sec. He fell into calculating silence. Doesn't that mean he soloed the game under far from ideal conditions? Oh man, how brutal must he be in real life? Is he some kind of real street fighter? I'd be antiquated if I missed this match. Why should I bother? Screw it, I'm out. Alpaca's face darkened. Damn, maybe suggesting this collab was a mistake. He paused with a skeptical look. A voice slowly spoke. Nice to meet you. Alpaca went pale. What? Seo-jun's mouth curled with a sly grin. My name is Shin Seo-jun. He still hadn't recovered. Beautiful guy, flawless natural looks. He seemed less dramatic in person than imagined. In real life, he's even better looking than the edited character. I always thought that was the character creator's magic. With the default appearance, he's already perfect. His gaze turned puzzled. What's character porridge? A flood of comments came in. Does this guy even know anything? Baitan switch much. This is nuts, bro. This is precedent enough to sue. Don't you feel bad for new viewers? Bigger eyes, higher nose, V-line chin, broader shoulders, more muscle. Alpaca grew annoyed and snapped. We're still setting up. Could you please step outside? Do you know how much work I put into tweaking the character until it didn't hurt to look at? Tae Wu chimed in excitedly. Bro, long time no see. I'm here too. Come on in, my man. He paused. T-Wu, long time no see. All right, this way, please. A chorus replied, excuse us. Seo-jun's expression flickered with mixed emotions. He fell briefly into thought. From the outside, it looked like a normal house. Seo-jun studied the layout intently, sensing that the work area and living space were completely separated. So this is what a veteran streamer's workspace looks like. Alpaca casually said, I'll go make some coffee. Everyone take a seat and wait a bit. He replied enthusiastically, let me help. T-Wu whispered with a puzzled look, bro, where did you get the confidence to accept that bet? You're a good man. He frowned in annoyance. If you're just here to troll me, then get out. Seo-jun paused for a moment, remaining calm. Suhan entered the room unexpectedly. Hello. His voice dropped heavily. I'm Lee Suhan, Alpaca's manager and editor. He stayed casual. Hi, I'm streamer Shin Seo-jun. A handshake was exchanged immediately. Seo-jun's eyes showed mixed feelings. What is this, trying to upstage each other? Lee Suhan said mockingly, you seem insanely good at the game, huh? Seo-jun replied flatly, guess so. His expression turned heavy. I heard you only just started playing recently. Seo-jun's mouth twitched with a hint of mischief. Actually, that's a secret. He stopped short. What trick is he about to pull now? No way. That bastard Lee Suhan. He declared boldly, I used to play in the pro circuit for a short time about 7 years ago. Alpaca's eyes widened in astonishment. 7 years ago. He immediately grew flustered and stammered. Pro circuit. You were that good back then. What rank were you? Seo-jun answered decisively. Rank 7. Suhan looked unconvinced. I don't buy that. No way someone who quit the game for years suddenly plays this well. He raised an eyebrow. Then again, stranger things have happened. He challenged loudly. Then do a solo match with me in the practice room and let's see. Seo-jun hesitated. Right now. Alpaca said slowly, why do you want to solo Seo-jun? Suhan's tone was provocative. What else? I want to test his skill. T-Wu sneered mockingly. For real, you want to solo him? He frowned and asked. Well. He stayed nonchalant, suddenly a cocky attitude. I'm saying this for your own good, man. Seo-jun looked puzzled. Since when did he start speaking so politely? T-Wu's face turned serious. Honestly, I advise you not to be stupid and solo this guy. His eyes still full of dissent. Why do you think he'll definitely lose? He remained nonchalant. This isn't even about winning or losing. It's because. His expression turned serious. T-Wu declared firmly, hey man, this absolutely must not leave this room. Got it. His voice dropped with authority. If you want to fight him in the practice room, you'd be better off challenging the level 10 gauntlet instead. He froze, suspicious. What? Then don't tell me. Suhan looked puzzled. This guy is a nobody. The play button appeared on the video screen. The first scene showed Seo-jun sword fighting an AI, Shin Haein. The two blades clashed, sending off sparks and a jarring clang. Finally, as if it couldn't take it, its sword was chopped clean in two by him. At that point, both Alpaca and Suhan wore stunned expressions. Crazy, truly insane. The video kept playing. He clutched his head in panic. He actually did that, but that's AI Shin Haein. As the clip neared the end, a comment popped up. That match was one-sided. Aside from the few theatrics he pulled, he didn't take a single hit. Seo-jun's line rang out. If you train another 80 years, maybe you'll land one. The two gaped. Alpaca jumped up. This guy's arrogance is next level. Wait, suddenly I feel pressure about this collab stream. Seeing his attitude, T-Wu beamed smugly. See, this is Shin Seo-jun, he thought helplessly. Why'd you have to steal my thunder, though? After watching the clip, Suhan fell into an unusual silence. While the others chatted, he called out to Seo-jun. He turned and obediently answered. Yes. Before anyone realized it, Lee Suhen was standing in front of Seo Jun, looking like he might punch him. From now on, the others lost their mood for joking and hurriedly stopped him. Hey Lee Suhen, wait man. Unexpectedly, the guy bowed his head and shouted, I'll make you my boss right now. Ti-Woo jumped, climbing onto Alpaca. Others laughed calmly. What the heck, getting our hopes up for nothing. Seo Jun froze, his face totally blank. Suhan kept pointing at himself and declared, anyone who's good at games is my boss now. From now on, boss, feel free to chat with me. Outwardly he agreed bewildered, but inwardly he rolled his eyes. Being respected is fine, but age-wise you should call me ancestor, not boss. Kid, how old am I including past lives? Ti-Woo calmed down and smirked teasingly. Since it's not a big deal, just let it go. The guy looked at his stunned face, and no sooner had he finished than he got hit with a paper box to the head. While Alpaca pondered the weird issue, especially about 7 years ago, the two started joking, if you're so good, then come fight. His gaze fixed on Seo Jun. No way he's been playing that long, right? The other, clueless, irritably shoved his face close. Your face is annoying as hell. What did you say? Seeing Alpaca so quiet, Lee Suhan nudged his elbow. Hey, what are you two doing? He pointed at the others and announced, the big livestream is about to start. Boss, we need to get ready. Only then did he snap back. Ah, right, it's time already. Recalling what he'd just thought, Alpaca decided to let it go. No, I'm probably overthinking it. Then he calmly called out, Seo Jun, shall we head out? Just as he was about to toss the paper box at Ti-Woo again, Seo Jun turned and replied, yes. He started to give directions, first head to my engine room, but was cut off by an overly excited Suhan. This way, please, boss. A bit embarrassed by the reverence, Seo Jun didn't refuse, thanks. Hearing that, Suhan beamed, oh my, a god indeed. Paying no mind to Alpaca with a bright red handprint on his face. Man, that flip was faster than flipping a rice paper sheet. A notification popped up. Alpaca went live and a flood of excited comments followed. He's here, thump 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 thump. Been waiting, snacking on fried chicken while watching. The screen showed Alpaca's cheerful. Before getting to the main event, he tossed out a lead-in question. Good to see you all again. You all know what day it is, right? The chat wasn't very entertained. As if we didn't know. Move Alpaca's face elsewhere, please. Reading that made Alpaca grumble sadly. What the heck? This is my stream. Is nobody here for me? Viewers kept teasing. Totally. Yeah, got a problem. While he was sulking, a friendly comment appeared. No way, I'm here to watch Alpaca. That cheered Alpaca up, who shouted, oh wow, Goldentail boss, you're really here to watch me. But that viewer's real reason was to watch a non-stop grind stream. His mood kept swinging. No grinding today, okay. This kid's taking you straight to the island. Viewers laughed and spammed haha reaction. But someone noticed something else and asked, why not grind today? Alpaca sounded pleased with the question. Why wouldn't I grind today? Good question. He dragged the line out because today is, and some fans even typed heartbeat noises to hype it up. Thump, 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 thump. Finally, he announced with fiery eyes, the game we're partying on today is Warrior. Someone jokingly commented, bros getting hyped like crazy. Then he pointed to a large wooden crate and introduced, and now, let's unveil the master who will teach me today's warrior techniques. When the crate suddenly cracked open with a flash of golden light, the chat erupted again. Did he kidnap some grandmaster? What kind of special effect is that? After the planks fell away, Alpaca excitedly shouted, please welcome streamer Shin Seo Jun, appear now. But to everyone's surprise, the inside was completely empty. Leaving him dumbfounded, the chat wondered, what is this? Why hasn't the spirit shown up? They teased again, calling in by phone. Okay, Alpaca, chill your delusions. But Alpaca focused on something else. What's going on? Why isn't he in there? Viewers guessed the master is just an imaginary friend of Alpaca's. Shin Seo Jun, yes, but the collab is tomorrow. Alpaca, OMG. Shin Seo Jun, I'm not coming because you didn't pay me enough. Alpaca, which drove him mad as he snapped back, not over the phone, folks. But people didn't buy it. Cut the crap. This means an all-night grind mode. Go for it, bros. Seeing that, Alpaca resorted to his final move. Look at this. The system board clearly said it. We even plan to do a double boost online after that. A new notification popped up. Message from Shin Seo Jun. He opened it and read, hey Alpaca, this is Shin Seo Jun. 2 more messages from Seo Jun arrived. I don't know how to get into your waiting room. Alpaca, can you send me an invite? Hee. Viewers all gawked at the screen. The chat erupted again. Typing hee like that is painful to watch. Is this staged or real? Alpaca forced a smile and sent room info, 1000. But inside, he was panicking. That's the very thing I wanted to ask. After some promos, Seo Jun appeared with a bright smile. Hello everyone, sorry I'm late. I'm streamer Shin Seo Jun. The latecomer had finally shown up. The two sat on the straw mat. Alpaca waved it off as nothing. Technically speaking, you're still just a newbie, Matt. Hearing that, viewers fired off remarks that hit straight to his heart. A newbie, Matt, not even getting into the waiting room is a bit much. It's Alpaca's fault for not preparing earlier, and this guy's asking to be taught by that newbie. While he skimmed the comments, he checked the screen. The poll was no joke, nearly hitting 20,000 viewers. But then he sighed helplessly because the vibe felt off. Cruel yet teasing comments popped up. Drop your real life and grind in the game. Isn't your life basically a game anyway? Go back to your true self, you can't even beat a newbie. You've been too busy living the real life lately. The chat in this room was kinda toxic, huh? Seeing Alpaca's dejected look, Seo-jun quietly guessed to himself. It felt like turning streamers into a joke had become its own content genre now. Each room's chat varies with the streamer's personality. Some streamers love to bully viewers. Anyone else wanna act up? I'm sorry, boss. Don't do it again next time. Yes, sir, soldiers are truly magnificent, sir. Mute for a day, what a lovely day. Meanwhile, other streamers aim for a squeaky clean broadcast. Civilized. But I actually quite like this relaxed, freewheeling vibe. I like it, but the teasing comments go a bit far. You're trash at this game, please quit. Look at that skill level, geez. What now? Making an old guy wish people would respect their elders a little. Surely they won't roast me for my skill, right? After some banter, Alpaca clapped once. Now then, to the main point, as everyone knows, because Seo-jun defeated that Drake, I ended up stuck with this non-stop grind stream deal. No sooner had he gotten serious than the chat struck back. Some clown account generously donated 1,001. If anyone manages that trick, I'll make them my master, learn from them, and stream grinding non-stop until they beat Drake on warrior mode. Ouch, chat hurts me. He ground his teeth threateningly. I'll block you for real, got it. I'll smack that loudmouth to shut them up. But they weren't scared. Is Alpaca getting salt? Couldn't hold it in. Seo-jun turned his face and covered his mouth with his hand. Even hidden like that, Alpaca noticed. You shouldn't be standing there laughing. Seo-jun, if you hadn't beaten that Drake, I wouldn't be stuck doing this exhausting grind stream, paying for his own karma. He giggled and replied, that's true. I do feel a bit responsible for you, Alpaca. Hearing that, Alpaca was satisfied and said, right. But Seo-jun's next line wiped the smile off his face. It's my fault for killing it, without realizing there's someone out there, confidently claiming it's impossible to beat Drake on warrior mode by day 2 after launch. Alpaca wanted to cry inside. Hey, where am I supposed to hide my face after you say that? What am I gonna do now? Viewers seized the moment to tease. The roasting challenge continues. Translation, sorry, but that's totally on you. Alpaca, you dumbass. He watched Seo-jun chatting and laughing with the comments, unexpectedly sweet. Seeing how at ease the other guy looked, Alpaca thought, with so many viewers he doesn't seem worried at all. If anything, he seems to be enjoying it. I can relax and keep streaming now. With that thought, he put on a cute expression and said, yes, I know my mistake. So please save me from past sins, great master. Seo-jun nodded humbly. I'll do my best, Alpaca. Hearing that, Alpaca flashed 2 fingers and happily began outlining today's stream tasks. All right, let's go. There are 2 parts we'll do together today with Seo-jun. The first part is to enter the game with Seo-jun and receive his guidance. The next part is still a secret, until this warrior grind stream succeeds. Before we jump in, quick question. Seo-jun, which basic skills did you upgrade? He blurted, a bit surprised, skills. Then honestly answered, I actually haven't upgraded any. That left him stunned. Really? Who these days grinds manually and refuses to upgrade any skills? You've never used a single skill before. What about the basic passives that boost attack speed, movement speed, or damage? A truly masochistic situation. Seo-jun pondered for a moment, then nonchalantly scratched his face and replied, I've never touched those things at all. Are they mandatory? This really is the kind of earth-shattering statement you'd expect from a veteran master who runs around in nothing but his boxer. The livestream screen showed Alpaca with his mouth agape, his ugly mug whenever he panics. After a moment, he recovered his voice. What did you say? Seo-jun thought absent-mindedly. The truth is I don't use skills because I don't know how to, but saying that outright sounds pathetic, right? So he put on a confident smile and answered, I just don't really find them necessary. The chat was stunned by how cool he seemed and couldn't resist teasing Alpaca. He's crazy. Try imitating that vibe. If an alpaca from the potato lab dares to brag he can beat someone barehanded, he should at least pull off something like this. Meanwhile, he forced a smile at a loss for words. Why all of a sudden? Ever since Seo-jun showed up, I feel like everything's against me. Viewer counts rising. Hold it together a bit more. For the sake of the goal, Alpaca forced a bright smile and said, anyway, the second segment I'll do with Seo-jun is related to that skill. He played a video and asked, has anyone here seen a video like this before? In the video, 2 men were clashing swords. The other man's blade slowly began to crack until it finally couldn't take it and shattered completely. The system popped up a notification. Weak point detected. Unlock skill requires quest. Destroy 10 weapons by finding their fracture lines. 210. After watching, everyone was curious. Is this guy really going to do that? No way. What the heck is he doing? Alpaca continued to explain. Folks, you probably know the idea of a fracture line from fantasy novels, right? It's like a death line that lets you easily split an object in two. I just need to find 10 of those lines to unlock the weak point detection skill. Just then someone asked, so what then? He held up 2 fingers and said, so far I've found a total of 2 fracture lines. One is the willow sword that happened to break in the video we just watched. The other is the fracture line of a longsword I learned about from a side quest NPC. Someone noticed something else, but what kind of skill is this weak point detection anyway? Alpaca wasn't very clear. Beats me. It's the last skill I haven't unlocked yet. Then his eyes lit up, but I heard Seo Jun thinks. With sparkling eyes, Alpaca turned his attention to the quiet one and said, he might be able to find the pattern behind those fracture lines. But unsurprisingly, the chat didn't believe it. Hey, don't crow too early. Stop baiting the noobs, man. Who the hell could figure something like that out? Is this new streamer some kind of god-level grinder? Facing their reactions, he wasn't angry and tried to calm them. Hey, everyone relax a bit. Then, excited, he offered an enticing proposal. Forget it. I'll bet we should make a wager on whether he can find the pattern before today's stream ends. The streaming platform has a channel points system. You earn points just by watching streams. Comments popped up. Alpaca, please play a horror game instead. And those points can be used to redeem chat effects or make bizarre requests of streamers. The points aren't convertible to cash. But there's another reason viewers love these points. Channel point predictions, where viewers bet points on the stream's outcome. The channel point prediction is live. A giant screen appears behind Alpaca. Alright, I gave you all plenty of time to lock in your bets. Take your time and place your wagers. Channel point prediction. Will he find 1 or 2 fracture lines by turtle grinding during today's stream? Will he find 3 or 4? What kind of nonsense is this? Will he flop like everyone else? Commenters. Obviously he won't find any. Pick the safe option. Someone angrily commented, what the hell are those people betting the bottom on thinking? Seo Jun read it and curiously asked, what's the safe option and what's the bottom option? He answered the question. The safe option is the outcome that's more likely, but the payout is tiny. The bottom option is for long shot bets, low chance but huge payout if it hits. On the prediction board, everyone's bets are shown. Will he find 1 or 2 fracture lines by turtle grinding today? No. Will he find 3 or 4? What nonsense is this? Will he flop like everyone else? No way. He's an alien with a third eye that sees fracture lines, from 4 lines upward. A moment later, he finally understood and blinked wide-eyed. So betting on me finding 4 or more counts as going bottom. The other guy answered awkwardly. As of now, yes. Seo Jun said into the camera, folks, if you all shove everything into the 4 or more option, the payout is 100x. No one really believed him. Come on. Where'd that overconfidence come from? How can he be that sure? One guy even added more money. Killer account Jome donated 10,001. I trusted Seo Jun and bet all the points I've hoarded for 3 years on 4 or more. Am I crazy? I'm such a farmed chicken. Seeing the donation, he calmly declared, ah, congrats to you beforehand. You're about to cash out a juicy 100x on your wager. At last, the assassination dawn begins. An ancient castle rises in the night beneath the full moon. Blood splatters onto the ground. A deep cut slashes across Andre's face. The one responsible grins grotesquely, wielding a razor-sharp sword. The whole man trembles, pleading, Big brother, I'm wrong, please spare my life. But the sword bites another stroke into his face. Perhaps the blood makes the atmosphere and even the moonlight look stained red. Lewis threatens, try to run. If you get away, I'll let you live. Hearing that, despite being racked with pain, Andre still tries to flee to escape. Someone watching the scene adds, he's the son of Richard Neville, ruler of the far northeast. No wonder Seo Jun felt he recognized him. It's the kid from the earlier video. Alpaca raised an eyebrow and suggested, first, we should check his skills right. A sword materializes from thin air, an ordinary blade, workmanship, nothing special but not flawed. Provider. After receiving the item, he leaps down to the ground, leaving him chatting with everyone. Now listen up, even if you know where to strike to break it. Actually doing that is no easy feat. Just reenacting that video is harder than a sparring match, in my opinion. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream makes Alpaca snap his eyes wide. The owner of the scream is Andre, who receives a slash from Seo Jun from chest to belly and collapses to the ground. In mere seconds, he finished defeating the target. The system notifies, weak point detected, unlock skill requires quest, destroy 10 weapons by finding their fracture lines. Count 110. Everyone erupts over the spectacle. Huh, you said this was hard earlier. A true master is a true master. Those who bet the safe option are about to have their winnings scooped up. Huh. Alpaca stepped closer, excitedly praising. Just as expected, you pulled that off in one go. Your level is clearly on a whole different tier from ours. In his head he added, how many times do I have to fail before I get a lucky turtle drop in one hit? He chuckled and reminded him, but you know this trick still hasn't been proven definitively, right? The other calmly replied, that's true, but now it's cert. Hearing that, Alpaca asked in confusion, what's cert? Seo Jun's mouth curved into a smile, that the rule I came up with is completely correct. That cocky line drew a bunch of snide but realistic comments. Cut the bragging man. Yeah, right, sure. Watch out or you'll get scammed by some fake miracle cream. He forced a smile and reminded, everyone chill. Hey folks, please don't be so harsh on Seo Jun. Suddenly riders appeared shouting, intruder. The intruder had shown up. But facing such danger, he just smiled and said, all right, seeing is believing, so I'll perform it for you right now. Seo Jun's eyes darkened and sharpened, a weak point that could be utterly destroyed. The sort that people say only those high monks from Shaolin who reached divine insight in a past life could see. Although my martial arts were top tier back then, I wasn't a monk, so I couldn't see it. Still, I can do something similar. Images from my past life kept flashing before me. Just like back then, I only need to grasp the opponent's intent, the intent of the one who made it. All I need is to get a hold of that. While he closed his eyes to recall and focus, the chat had no clue. Why is he closing his eyes like that? Is he giving up already? Because his vision isn't in use. Seo Jun's other senses sharpened, making it easy to intercept the rider's shield. The rider couldn't help but flinch, noticing something amiss. The sword sliced in a diagonal arc. Everything suddenly fell silent. Alpaca stood behind, dumbfounded watching, when a crack appeared out of nowhere. The next swing of his sword caused the rider to literally shatter. Chunks of stone whipped past his gaping, astonished face. Alpaca got so excited his face flushed. This guy's insane. While he gawked in admiration, the chat erupted too. He actually did that. What the heck did I just witness? Alpaca ruffled his hair and babbled. He just found it, and he did it with his eyes shut. What the hell is this? Is he actually a monster? Everyone quickly chimed in. No way, I'm not kidding. What exactly is he seeing? This is bona fide genius level. He couldn't contain his eagerness and ran up to the other guy asking, no, seriously, Seo Jun, how the hell did you do that? Suddenly, a snide comment grabbed their attention. Despite donating, the tone was vicious. Account Oh Come On It Staged donated 1001. Didn't you two rehearse this together yesterday? This blatant setup is disgusting. That one comment sent Alpaca into a rage and he fired back. Staged. No way. I thought Seo Jun was all talk before. Who knew he was this epic? As the chat started freaking out over what had just happened, those safe bet guys are pissing themselves. Streamer fake. Apologize. Scam, scam, scam. Streamer, that was my tuition money. Have mercy. Is this for real? That truth hurts. Real life feels like a joke and the joke feels real. Told you to trust the nameless lord. Boycott the fake streamer. Seo Jun casually rubs salt in their wounds. I told you to trust me and bet. Which made one person break down and shout, too late, man. Suddenly he remembered something and gave a strange little grin. Hey, it's not just the safe bet folks hooray doomed, right? Seo Jun slowly recalls the prediction board Alpaca showed earlier. Today on the stream he'd get lucky and find 1 or 2 cracks at most, maybe 3 or 4, and the nameless lord would go home empty-handed like everyone else. Then he gently breathes out, no bait, no pay. Only 1% of you guessed I'd find 4 or more. Are all of you in chat part of that 1%? At that, the audience immediately ran the emotional gamut. We're screwed, right? Well, at least we all get to be screwed together for fun. That's supposed to be luck. Seo Jun couldn't help laughing out loud. These folks just want the failure to not be only theirs. Typical Korean crowd mentality. Alpaca sighed inwardly. This kid teases the audience while still steering the show so they don't hate him. Not only great at the game, but charming as a streamer too. So I won't have to struggle carrying the stream alone anymore. Thinking that, Alpaca happily waved to Seo Jun's viewers. All right, everyone calm down a bit. Seo Jun, how do you do it? Spill the beans. The crowd, hearing that, got excited and chaotic. So curious, how did he train that skill? What does he even do in real life? I want to know his actual job. Seo Jun didn't hesitate and said plainly, first off, I'm just a regular guy in my early 20s. That frank answer absolutely stunned Alpaca. In the next instant, he jumped up loudly, cut the crap, where he normal. Alpaca remembered when Seo Jun introduced himself before entering the game. My name is Shin Seo Jun, and roared angrily, that face isn't normal, don't lie. That over-the-top reaction naturally left the viewers puzzled. Seo Jun really is that handsome. The comment caught the 2 streamers' attention, and Alpaca hurriedly put on an act. Guys, Seo Jun's on-stream look is exactly his bare face in real life. no edits at all. Seconds after that, a flood of comments scrolled by. No way, aren't the devs going to rebalance this? Oh my, handsome and pro-level skills, total domination, folks. Suddenly the system popped fireworks and highlighted a comment with a 10,001 donation. There's gotta be something small going on, I swear. The kind of donate to show your thought comment made Alpaca pause and think for a few seconds before he bit his lip and said, got it, totally got it. Alpaca's menacing look got the audience hyped. Is he about to get banned? Gonna get smacked and banned for sure. Yet the system announced another 10,001 donation from that same user. Think would. Alpaca, none too pleased, ground his teeth like he was about to prank them. Seo Jun wanna ban him. Seo Jun, frozen watching the show, had to raise a hand to hold back that chihuahua of a commenter. Nah, it's fine. The comment didn't bother him at all. Having been given that cue, Alpaca glared at the chat and threatened, this time I'm letting it slide. Suddenly, an unexpected comment popped up. Admin just walked by with a knife. It turned out that while Alpaca was busy raging in the game, Suhen was casually bantering with someone right in the chat. Do you know the name of this knife? Behave yourself, okay? A hilarious scene had the commentators in stitches. Look at his reflex to donate to save his hide. Only now did Seo Jun clear his throat and suggest, all right, back to the game. Alpaca took that chance to clap once, then turned and said to him, Seo Jun, how the hell do you do that? I honestly don't see any opening. He tilted his head, bewildered. Why that? Under the viewers' curious gazes, Seo Jun quickly cleared his throat from the tension, then revealed a blank expression to seem mysterious. I just knew, because I'm a genius. That simple line didn't just make Alpaca itch in the ears at this guy. It made almost everyone watching, including the admin, freeze. What's the secret? A few minutes had to pass before the commentators recovered and teased Alpaca's dumbstruck face mercilessly. Look at Alpaca's face. Seeing the laughter aimed straight at him, he trembled and pleaded, please don't, have mercy on us. Unexpectedly, Seo Jun, oblivious to his suffering, calmly shared, I was just trying to put myself in the devs' shoes to see what they'd do. That simple info made Alpaca jump. You mean you read the devs' minds just by looking at 2 examples? Then Seo Jun, being adorably composed, paused to pick his words and explained Alpaca's concern. Exactly. For example, guard bashing is a system meant for clearing regular mobs, right? Landing a hit on an opening is even harder, and even when you succeed it only breaks the weapon, rather than adding damage. In short, there's no need to use the opening system on normal mobs. How to jump higher more easily, huh? Seo Jun's point was to look at the big picture and pick the best option to climb ranks, which earned him a sincere compliment from a commentator. Oh, sharp thinking. Not noticing that comment, Seo Jun continued his spiel. Then there's only one answer. The opening system is reserved for boss fights. The perfectly reasonable explanation made Alpaca excitedly mutter. Makes sense. Bosses are obviously tougher and can't be beaten just by guard bashing, especially Drake. Wanting people to think he's some profound madman, Seo Jun suddenly declared, speaking of which, I'll try to take down that possessed guy right now, which sent the audience into a tizzy. Ah no, all you underbetters are screaming. At this rate their channel points will vanish. Please, go find something safer first and deal with the possessed guy later. Demon Seo Jun smiled cheerfully at the crying icon, then turned to the blonde fellow opposite him and said, Alpaca, let's do another channel points prediction. When he let slip his naive side, what? He casually voiced the thought in his head, can I destroy the possessed guy's equipment today? Then conveniently opened the update system. The channel points prediction bet was starting. Prediction, Shin Seo Jun will be able to destroy the possessed guy's equipment today. After setting everything up, Seo Jun calmly told the viewers, you know the rules, right? Just trust me and go with it. A little later, some ancient building took a monstrous beating. When the bright smoke cleared, 2 towering figures oddly appeared. Richard Neville roared in anger, so his voice echoed through the air. I will take your head to avenge my son. His eyes brimmed with blind hatred as he stared down the still-breathing man opposite him. The moment Richard Neville lunged at his opponent, Seo Jun smoothly leaned aside and dodged the swing of his blade with effortless grace. While the opponent hadn't retreated yet, he slipped his sword in and jabbed hard at the edge of Richard Neville's massive blade. But the man only glanced at his sword and muttered, what trick are you pulling already? No sooner had he finished than Richard Neville swung back at Seo Jun, making even Alpaca, watching from the sidelines, sweat bullets. This time I can't find any opening either. It's taking a while. Could it be you really can't find one? The audience murmured. Before that thought could finish forming, Seo Jun's mocking voice cut through. You thought I wouldn't find one earlier, didn't you? Caught flat-footed, Alpaca bashfully replied. Huh, I'm watching from so far away. How did you know? Spot on. That goofy expression let the chat show every emotion. Busted, you can tell it's over. Damn, total loss. Nameless lord, be careful sneaking around. Alpaca felt a chill and had to shout out. The guys say Richard Neville's weapon, made of some special material. That might not have any openings at all. Seo Jun, finishing his stance, murmured coldly, "Oh, really?" He quietly scanned the man for lethal weak points, then softly said, "Not much different from a Reaper's aura. Let me check if it truly has none, shall I?" Just as Richard Neville raised his sword overhead to finish the opponent, Seo Jun calmly ran in and slipped his blade between the length of the man's sword. The sight made the man roar in anger. "How many times are you going to use that trick? It doesn't work on me." Unexpectedly, Seo Jun ignored the taunt and drove his sword hard into the base of Richard Neville's blade, then quickly slashed upward from there straight into the man's shoulder. That image shocked Alpaca to his core. Hit, and it's not over. While everyone was still stunned, Seo Jun drove his blade down along Richard Neville's body. When the sword finally reached the man's thigh, he bolted away to another spot. Just those simple actions triggered the system report. Quest acquired, weak point detection skill, unlock condition, destroy weapons 10 times via opening technique. Count 410. A cascade of notifications followed. 510, 610, 710, 810, 910. As the system reached that point, Seo Jun heard the crack of Richard Neville's armor shattering. While Alpaca and the viewers were still stunned by Seo Jun's aura-farming move, what on earth is this? He fell silent and listened to the sound of Richard Neville coughing up blood, because that was also the moment the system decisively announced 1010. The weak point detection skill had been confirmed. A hidden image flickered up before Seo Jun's eyes, making him blurt an involuntary "ah." Under the puzzled gazes of the onlooker, Seo Jun casually revealed a nonchalant look and said, "I was wrong. The sword truly has no weak point, but his body does." Who knows how much time passed before the VR pod in the real world slowly opened up. Seo Jun blinked awake, sat up, and let out a long sigh. But before he could take a second breath, Suhan solemnly bowed, "Boss, you're freaking amazing." The noisy reaction made Seo Jun a bit embarrassed. Still here, he really hasn't left yet. He hurried out, scratched his head and said, "Thanks for letting me borrow the pod." Lee Suhan kept his pose and replied seriously, "No problem. I should be the one thanking you, boss." But a moment later, he dove into his rig and cuddled it, squealing, "My pod probably learned a ton from this experience." That move not only gave Seo Jun a headache and goosebumps, even the sentient rig would say, "I've got goosebumps too." After a while seeing the sky darken, Seo Jun decided to step into the living room. What's going on? You still haven't gone home." Ti Wu leisurely munched a chocolate cookie, then eagerly continued, "I ended the stream already. There's no way I'd miss this collab. You're the one who needs to disappear fast." Hearing that made Seo Jun raise an eyebrow in confusion. Disappear where exact? Then a blink later, he forgot his friend's teasing and changed the subject. "Oh right." Meanwhile, Alpaca's chat went berserk. "Alpaca, go hide. Get out, we don't want that boring face. Go, bring Seo Jun out now, who needs you. Cover it up, move that ugly mug away. We didn't come here to see you, go play somewhere else." The audience's semi-hostile reaction made him rush to respond. "Okay, everyone please calm down." Unexpectedly, someone skipped niceties and just told Alpaca straight to shut up. "Shut your mouth, Alpaca." But when the light from his phone flashed on, a surge of confidence bubbled up and he quickly reclaimed his public composure. "All right, looks like he's ready. Please give a warm welcome, Shin Seo Jun." Alpaca's door slowly opened, letting a beam of light into the dim room inside. Except for Alpaca's smug face, everyone else started reeling at Seo Jun's fairy-like beauty. "Hello everyone, this is my first time showing my face to meet." The man was flawless, truly beautiful, a perfect face that needed no filter. He gave a gentle, sunny smile and politely said, "I'm Shin Seo Jun, a travel streamer." A moment later, Alpaca pulled him to sit beside him and cheerfully hawked, "So, what do you all think? Isn't Seo Jun ridiculously handsome?" The audience, stunned by Seo Jun's superhuman looks, immediately roasted Alpaca. "How is he this handsome in real life? This is so unfair to Alpaca. Life's cruel. Even if Alpaca had his features tweaked, he'd still look ugly. Give it up, he's deeply wounded." He's hurriedly protested in vain. "Hey, I actually looked pretty fine in real life. I've just gained a bit of weight lately." The commentators didn't hesitate to show off their savage roasting skills, making Seo Jun gulp. "That, a bit of weight, really just weight gain. Poor bro getting roasted for no reason. Why poke at a battle you're sure to lose? It's fine, we don't watch your stream for your face anyway." Hearing that, Alpaca knew he'd already lost this fight and weakly said, "Thanks a lot. I'll go pack a bit." A comment popped up, "Alpaca, running away." Seo Jun quickly shifted gears to rack up views. He's just going to make dinner. Next activity, we're going to a celebratory meal. Before he could lean back to relax, the system suddenly announced, "Opa donated 50,000 won," and even attached a gushy heartfelt message. Oppa, I love you. Seo Jun blushed, sat up and scratched his head. Thanks, but are you a girl or what? Before he got an answer, a flood of comments from female fans poured in. Cut it out. Oppa, you monk. At that moment, the system fired off fireworks again. Me Too donated 50,000 won, making Seo Jun frown with suspicion. However, this donor asked earnestly, I want to learn the weak point detection skill. Could you show a few more movement examples? Other viewers quickly dropped the old topic and chimed in, seriously, that was sick earlier. Thanks to that, Seo Jun leaned back to think how to explain before replying. He began to rewind the moment he went blank while fighting Richard Neville. Seo Jun said softly, confidently, weak point detection. It's a skill to hit vulnerabilities that lets you destroy equipment by slashing along marked lines. This one-of-a-kind explanation left the audience helpless. How did he break Richard Neville's pauldron during the fight? Hitting an NPC's weak spot is hard enough, and this was an owner-class guy. Seo Jun waited until the chat heated up, then doused them with cold water. No way I'll reveal it for free. Tune in next time. If you want more examples, watch my stream tomorrow. When viewers laughed and commented, quick channel promo right there. Classic. He steered the conversation elsewhere. All right, next question. Ask anything on the topic. Right then someone asked, exactly what is an order shard? Seo Jun read it and answered without thinking, what? I'm not entirely sure about that myself. He kept reading questions and answering earnestly. How do you usually exercise? I mostly just run. Why are they curious about that? Why did you pick an assassin game for your first stream? A friend recommended it. Hearing that, the chat scrambled to get more. Oh, sounds like a good friend. Who is it? A moment later, the barbecue table was quickly shown live for everyone to see. T-Woo, hearing Seo Jun's Q&A, winked at his phone and said, it was me. Once viewers learned the truth, they started digging. So that's why he didn't stream today. If his friend, that awesome, he should have collabed earlier. How close are those two anyway? T-Woo happily slung an arm around his buddy and blurted, we've been friends since high school, and we even live together now. The cheerful mood vanished when T-Woo's regular viewers showed up. Wait, so Seo Jun is that roommate, that legendary character. As that comment appeared, T-Woo got scrutinizing looks from the three people eating with him and nervously hid his phone. What are you talking about? Like pouring fuel on the fire, Noe donated 1,001 and attached an old clip. That made T-Woo shout in panic. Hey, wait a sec. Before he could do anything, Seo Jun snatched the phone and played the clip. In some past stream, T-Woo casually started a chat with viewers. Guys, you want to hear this funny story? With that old clip title, during a random livestream T-Woo told, so I told you I live with a friend, right? He's usually fine, but sometimes he does weird stuff. The other day his phone got a bit dirty, so he took it and scrubbed it with soap. I freaked out and asked what he was doing. He casually said, isn't it waterproof? Then he kept scrubbing and I nearly passed out. And yesterday I told him to cool the pod with a fan, so he squatted next to it and pointed his fan right at the pod. Truly like a good kid, no wonder he fails sometimes. T-Woo's merry laughter echoed from the phone, making Seo Jun glare at him with murderous intent without looking away. He gently pinched the guy's cheek with a clip. You're the last dish of the night, kid. T-Woo's screams easily pulled a round of laughter from the audience, and from Alpaca and Suhan, time to throw a tantrum. A few moments later, T-Woo sighed happily, staring at his empty bowl. That was delicious, I'm stuck. Alpaca couldn't help but speak up. Thanks for the collab today, Seo Jun. He didn't show much expression like the others but still nodded slightly in reply. You worked hard too, Alpaca. I learned a lot from you. That made him awkwardly wave his hand. Oh no, I'm the one who learned more. Hey Seo Jun, are you planning to start a YouTube channel? The topic popped up and his face lit up. Ah yeah, but I'm still pretty amateur. Alpaca offered advice. If you really want to do it, find an editor first. Seo Jun's puzzled look made him excitedly thump the table. Then eagerly asked on the livestream, if you want, I can introduce you to someone I know. Alpaca's joyful reaction made Seo Jun ask bluntly, someone you know, only when the apartment returned to quiet after the noisy meal. Seo Jun happily popped open a can of beer. He downed a gulp and then exhaled in bliss. Feels great. Suddenly a thought flashed and Seo Jun stopped smiling. Do I really need to be on YouTube? His brain quickly dragged him back to the end of that barbecue dinner. When Alpaca shyly expressed his thoughts, of course, your channel could grow even more, Seo Jun. The income from it is pretty sweet too. Whether a channel takes off depends largely on the editor's skill. Pod games are different from other games, so few editors know how to create highlights. Hearing that, Seo Jun turned to Alpaca's editor and asked, so why did you become Alpaca's editor back then, Suhan? He heard the question and happily shared right away. I used to be an ordinary office worker, then I happened to see Alpaca's stream. Noticed he had talent but refused to upload videos, letting the channel go stale. So I thought I could revive it and reached out to him myself. The short story made T Wu exclaim, so this was back when he was a nobody. You even quit your job for that. Lee Suhan nodded without hesitation. Yeah. He calmly glanced at Alpaca's goofy happy face and cleared his throat to say earnestly, I had a feeling. I knew Alpaca would become famous. Back in the present, Seo Jun watched the sunset lowering and began to murmur absent-mindedly, an editor, huh. To succeed as a streamer, YouTube is essential. But my goal is to win the livestream championship. In a short instant, Seo Jun found himself swallowed by private thoughts without noticing. At first, I planned to get the pod and quit, but being a streamer is way more fun than I expected. I'm starting to like the feeling of laughing and meeting people, the viewers teasing like, a lazy guy like you can actually play games. Made Seo Jun feel pleased like a grandpa watching the kids play. Young people these days really know how to enjoy life. Then he remembered the annoyed viewers who tried to pull him back when Seo Jun calmly walked into the game's trap. Why did everything end so easily? Those warm, cheerful moments left him stunned for a few seconds, before sighing and muttering under the pleasant afternoon sun, is it because I'm lonely? A breeze stirred and cleared Seo Jun's head, probably. Cherry petals drifting down made his mood feel a notch heavier. Seo Jun began to recall moments from his past life. The feeling of remembering a previous life is like having a homeland you miss but can never return to, no matter how much you long for. Those thoughts made him even more vague than before. I don't know, I should probably hit the gym to clear my head. The next morning, at some gym, the thud of boxing filled the air. Inside, the trainers watched intently as Seo Jun pummeled others with decisive, superior punches. Each vicious strike made opponents break a sweat even if they dodged. Yet Seo Jun casually retracted his hand and sighed comfortably. That sight made Jai Hook on the floor look up with goosebumps. He's here again to blow off steam. Funny thing is, the guys he beats up always look better afterward. Seo Jun suddenly became the physique manager for the trainees here. Suddenly Dong Su appeared out of nowhere and called, "Oh, coach." The 18-year-old, itching to spar, now wailed sadly, "How long do I have to keep running on this machine?" Jai Hook, busy watching Seo Jun's strikes, had to turn and soothe the kid. "Listen, you've only been here 2 weeks. Unexpectedly, Dong Su complained. "I've only done basics and conditioning, but it still isn't enough. Coach, I'm a pro, you know." The dangerous tone made Jai Hook laugh and warn, "Pro in the virtual world only, this is real life. Kid, be realistic." Failing to convince him, Dong Su frowned and calculated. "The trainer said to train with my real body, so at this rate I'll be stuck on this treadmill until next year's tournament, like a running rat, running forever with no end." That primal fear had Dong Su flop on the floor in a tantrum. "I want to learn real combat moves, that'd be so exciting." His noise not only made gymgoers laugh, "Here we go again," but also shook Jai Hook's resolve to say, "This kid, seriously. All right, let's do a quick spar today, okay?" Dong Su heard that and his eyes lit up, sweet. "Can I pick my opponents?" When he got the casual decree from Jai Hook, "Your call." He happily jumped around the gym. Awesome. People nearby hurriedly backed away. After all, nobody here was going to let him win. Suddenly, a confident voice rang out and stunned Dong Su. "Step on in." He slowly turned around while a strange, tingling excitement rose in his chest. Dong Su looked up at the newcomer who had called him. He froze and thought, could that be the guy from yesterday's video? Min Hyun kept praising how good he fights, so I came to check him out. Remembering that moment, Dong Su was shocked when the other shoved a phone in his face. "Hey, look, he's legit awesome." He didn't care then and just yelled angrily, "Hey buddy, move, you're covering the screen." But then a surprising discovery made Dong Su jump. Even Haein was impressed when she watched. The slew of odd reactions from everyone around put him in a foul mood. "I think it's normal, what's the big deal? But how did some nobody even get in here?" Dong Su watched Seo Jun chatting with the manager. Curiosity piqued. Is he the manager's friend? Suddenly he flicked his gaze off Jai Hook and looked at Dong Su, making the kid jump back in surprise. Dong Su's classic fake innocent act made Seo Jun visibly bored. "So, who should I pick?" Feeling the other guy starring, he panicked inwardly. "Whoa, why's he staring at me all of a sudden?" At that moment, Jai Hook suddenly called Dong Su over. "Dong Su, have you picked an opponent yet?" When Dong Su awkwardly answered, Not yet, sir." Jai Hook immediately slapped him on the shoulder. "Listen up, Dong Soo. Sparring isn't about knocking someone out." For some reason, Jai Hook switched to stern teaching mode. It's about testing moves and improving skills. Dong Su could only go quiet thinking, why is he looking at me like I'm scary? But instead of seriously taking Jai Hook's advice, he frowned and glanced aside to start checking out Seo Jun's toned body. Same size as me, hardly any visible muscles. This looks like an easy bite. When Jae-hook shook him hard, got it. Remember to be polite, don't get too cocky. Not really listening, he still answered cheerfully and earnestly, yes, yes, I know, so then. Before I go and kick myself, can I spar with that guy? The one and only request left Jae-hook dumbfounded. What, with him? Dong-soo replied clearly and directly, yes. He ignored the gaggle of trainees muttering nonsense. We want to spar with the game god. To advise him, Dong-soo, do you want to reconsider? There are plenty of others who want to spar you. But Dong-soo didn't care about those people and boldly shot back. Is it rude to ask for a spar right after meeting someone? Seeing the eager novice refuse to back down, Jae-hook quickly lowered his voice. Oh right, that's an extremely rude and thoughtless request. That guy is. Before he could finish, Seo-jun cleared his throat and greeted. Hello, I heard that. You want to spar with me? Having been asked so cheerfully, Dong-soo eagerly stepped up. Oh really, I like you a lot. You're Seo-jun, right? That made him puzzled and ask, how do you know my name? As the kid babbled without stopping, I watched your stream yesterday. Hey, can I call you Big Bro? Seo-jun inwardly cringed. This kid reminds me so much of T-Woo. Before replying with an embarrassed smile, fine, whatever, suit yourself. Under Dong-soo's hurried urging, shall we get on the ring now? The two young fighters quickly grabbed their gear and headed for the ring. Seeing Seo-jun's calm demeanor, Dong-soo couldn't help but start chatting. Hey, Big Bro. He lowered his gaze and spoke like an overconfident youngster. You're pretty good at games. But of course you're still not as good as me. Feeling the jab at his pride, Seo-jun just mumbled lightly, is that so? But who are you anyway? The naive question left Dong-soo slack-jawed. You seriously don't know who I am? I'm the one and only game god, don't you know? The strange title made Seo-jun scratch his head in confusion. Game god, what's that? The other guy's clueless look made Dong-soo's mind turn nasty. Wait a sec. He says he's only just started gaming. So why is Hyon freaking out over some nobody? A moment later he grinned sarcastically. I'll tell you after I beat you. Do you know it's a huge honor to fight me? Hearing that, Seo-jun calmly took stance, ready for the very unbalanced match to begin. All right, let's go. Dong-soo bounced forward enthusiastically, as if warming up. No need to take someone who just started gaming too seriously. Just be polite and go easy. Seo-jun switched to classic sweep mode and threw a punch at Dong-soo's face while the kid was still grinning from his own delusions. Easy there. A little while later, cold gusts began to blow outside. Seo-jun had just taken a sip of banana milk when Ha-chun gently spoke up. Seo-jun, you should have gone easier on that kid earlier, right? He looks like a normal guy, doesn't he? Seo-jun heard that and replied calmly, it's fine, Dad. His footwork actually has potential. He's probably just working on conditioning for now. Ha-chun nodded sheepishly. I see. As Seo-jun's mind replayed the scene of him knocking out Dong-soo with one strike alongside Jae-hook, his soul did a backflip. Oh my head. Suddenly he remembered something and cleared his throat. By the way, how's your live stream going these days? Seo-jun stared at the blue sky and sighed. Yes, everything's fine. His mature air didn't put Ha-chun at ease. If anything, it made him more flustered. Well, times are safer now, so I'm not stopping you like your mother used to. Is it really that hard to become famous as a streamer, huh? He quoted T-Woo saying even getting a handful of viewers is a struggle. Ha-chun went on to recount a lighthearted talk he'd had with his wife a few days before. Being a streamer isn't a job just anyone can do. He even mimicked his wife's voice so his son would get the picture. Not a single viewer. And without considering Seo-jun's annoyance at T-Woo, what's that guy been telling parents? Before Seo-jun could respond, Ha-chun excitedly continued, so I was thinking, why don't you try playing Planet Craft? A game people joke that if it looks familiar to you, it's time for a medical checkup. When Seo-jun raised an eyebrow and voiced his concern, is that still popular, Dad? What kind of game is that? I've never heard of it. His cheeky tone made Ha-chun burst out. You call yourself a gamer and don't know this. You have to grind games like that to pull views. So how many viewers do you have in your stream room now? Seo-jun stood silent for a few seconds thinking before answering. Last time it was around 440 viewers. Ha-chun went rigid at that number. Unexpectedly, without reading his father's mood, he updated. It'll probably be busier today. I have 3,000 followers now. That made him spit out his banana milk. Seo-jun jumped back in alarm. Dad, keep your voice down. But Ha-chun ignored that and focused on what mattered. 3,000, a full 3,000. His startled shout echoed through the room. After that collab, the forums gradually, all day long. Every post easily hit the 30 interaction mark, and no one was throwing shade at Seo-jun's awareness or abilities anymore. Lying on his bed, he analyzed those popularity metrics. The measure of his presence in the community had risen. Suddenly, a chiming sound rang, and he tapped his phone, puzzled. It turned out T-Woo suddenly forwarded an article to Seo-jun with a message. Check this out, isn't it hilarious? Why is streamer Shin Seo-jun a hacker? The criteria for this so-called exploit are vague, and aside from Seo-jun, there's not a single other success case. If he's not on the development team, he's definitely a hacker. I'm sure. Seo-jun went quiet for a few seconds after reading that trash, before curling his lip into a sarcastic laugh. He silently pictured Ti-woo's boastful grin and couldn't help smirking. Reliable, huh, so this is what the experience feels like. After the chuckle passed, Seo-jun frowned and dealt with the matter at hand. First, give them a report ticket. But a deeper thought suddenly hit him and he shot upright. At this rate, do I have to do a corrective livestream after only 3 days on air? With that in mind, Seo-jun plunged into the VR. Spurred on by the article, he felt 10,000 times more energized than usual. How many viewers will tune in today? After who knows how long, Seo-jun announced on the stream system, "I'm live," and the live viewer count started jumping up fast. Meanwhile, in real life, Baemo was going berserk, slamming his hand on the table and yelling in fury. How did the weak point detection skill get unlocked already? That progress was supposed to take at least a month. Kwok-hal had to wait for him to calm before chiming in. Exactly. In a game with so much going on like this, you'd only get it by sheer luck. See, I told you there'd be trouble. And you didn't even listen then. Afraid he'd keep poking, Baemo shouted angrily. That famous kid, what did you just say? But Kwok-hal quickly snapped back into his usual serious mode to focus on work. Calm down. Do you think I want this spotted? Hearing that odd phrase, Baemo frowned in confusion. Spotted? What the hell are you talking about? Under his boss's puzzled gaze, Kwok-hal opened his laptop and shoved it toward the curt boss. Look at this. Baemo mumbled in confusion as he looked at the screen. What is this? Kwok-hal, video of him breaking Richard Neville's gear. Baemo immediately saw the clip of Seo-jun in action. Of course, the glorious victory he achieved in just a few seconds was shown clearly. Everything made Baemo's head spin. No, how can any of this make sense? Couldn't it just be a bug that accidentally granted him weak point detection? At that suspicion, Kwok-hal immediately denied it. We checked that ages ago. There are no bugs. That only sent Baemo further into a panic. Then what is it? Because of his boss's cluelessness, Kwok-hal turned detective as a newly hooked fan of Seo-jun from the livestream. Let me explain. It seems he grasped the mechanic on his first try. And about that mechanic, it's the standardized sword trajectory our team labored for months to design. Even dreaming, normal players wouldn't easily see through it. Yet Seo-jun spotted it immediately and sliced its pattern apart. In short, even from a developer's perspective like mine, he's 100% not a hack. Whoever dares touch Seo-jun can consider themselves at war with me. And wow, he's top tier. Seo-jun forever. Kwok-hal's 100,000 florid praises for Seo-jun were almost instantly cut off by Baemo. Hey, you enough, what are we gonna do now? To everyone's surprise, he calmly cleared his throat and pointed. What do you mean what we're gonna do? I haven't finished praising him yet. His calm, superior attitude made Baemo roar in anger. What do you mean, what do we do? Don't you know if the fragments drop early, we're all screwed? How can you be so blasé? While Kwok-hal cheerfully stuck to his role as a game developer, Baemo, carrying more responsibilities, naturally had more worries than the others. Order fragments. They're one of the items we slipped in to hint at the next game. According to plan. Once players collect all the fragments, a short quest chain will be triggered. When players complete that quest chain, something will appear before them, and the company's teaser video will be released at that exact moment. It's a very natural marketing move, but one that Baemo had calculated extremely carefully. Yet his perfect plan collapsed bitterly. Because of a single gamer, that nearly made Baemo fall apart. Trying to save his broken heart, he cleared his throat and asked Kwok-hal, how long do we expect to finish the trailer for the new game? The other replied, a month. Then he frowned and asked more. But what if the whole team pulls ALL-NIGHTERS from today at breakneck speed? Kwok-hal fell silent to calculate for a few seconds before giving a vague answer. Maybe about a week. Baemo nervously rubbed his hands and pressed on. So what are the odds that that streamer collects all the order fragments within that time? With overconfidence, Kwok-hal quickly answered in glee without thinking. I can say this for sure. 100% boss. To top it off, he said it in a voice dripping with confidence, which sent Baemo already desperate over the edge. In an instant he snarled, you useless annoying idiot, then suddenly bellowed so the whole company could hear him, get out right now. After throwing Kwok-hal out, Baemo slumped into his chair and sighed, but his eyes couldn't help staring ahead, where the final battle footage of Seo-jun against Richard Neville was frozen on the laptop. No way, how is this possible? How did he pull that off? A tension rose, and Baemo angrily pounded the keys. But just a moment later, he had to stop everything. When he was dazzled by Seo-jun's swordplay, Okay, admit it, the guy's kind of. Baemo suddenly hit replay on Seo Jun's battle video. He watched the clip's view count climbing and didn't hesitate to watch it again. Seo Jun carried an aura like an old-school swordsman, which made Baemo curious enough to search his name online, only to get sucked into Seo Jun's slick gameplay clip. Combined with the young man's lethal, unpredictable attitude, Baemo seemed to spark a new concealed delight, hiding an excited grin, so damn cool. He happily scrolled and muttered excitedly, "That idea to use troops to corner Richard Neville was mine. Didn't expect it to be revealed like this." Suddenly, in the middle of his reverie, Baemo realized it was 3:21 a.m. Well then, it's late already. How long has it been since I felt this satisfied? Watching players enjoy the game he poured his heart into in their own unique way, and seeing viewers gape like, "Wait, that," aloud. Watching players enjoy the game he poured his heart into in their own unique way, then seeing viewers gape like, "Wait, you can play like that." Those thoughts made him smile with satisfaction. Baemo did something he rarely does. He started following Seo Jun online. Almost immediately, the new live went up with the title, "Thanks for 1,700 followers." When the live officially started, someone shouted excitedly, "He's live, let's go." A beat later, Seo Jun's handsome, impassive face appeared and he said, "Hi everyone." A stream of comments began flying by. "Hey, what kind of stream title is that?" The fun scene made him feel a little awkward. Views spiked and the chat blew up. "Ah, that's why I prepared this." As soon as Seo Jun sent a private message, Jom, aka Assassin Cho-sun, appeared quickly. Along with him came Patient riding a white steed, and Winter Fortress, truly the dream team. Seeing the three online, Seo Jun lowered his voice to roll call, "Everyone here. From now on these guys will be chat mods." As if waiting for the cue, the three immediately pledged loyalty. "Leave it to us. Jom, the 25 million point hero, will be strict. Lord Seo Jun, King Seo Jun the Great, Seo Jun is the best." "Yes, sir. Yes, I'll do my best." The audience got a good laugh watching these notorious trolling names. Still, he seriously explained, "These are people who have been with me since my first streams. When I asked them to be mods, they all volunteered happily." He also remembered their cheeky early comments. "Watching a newbie fail like this is oddly entertaining. No way those moves weren't luck, that was skill." He recalled that lively chat when he'd asked those fans for help. "Yes, I think I can be a chat mod. Thanks for trusting us." "Oh, you're serious?" Seo Jun chuckled to himself, except the godly public restroom brick thief still hadn't replied. "Here are the channel rules, skim through them." Seo Jun pressed something, and the live stream system pushed a series of new notices to viewers. Notice: chat only about topics related to the live stream. If you see toxic people, don't argue in chat, report them to the mods. You know what not to do, right? The fastest readers replied quickly. "In short, behave responsibly, got it. So what's with that stream title?" That last question made Seo Jun raise an eyebrow and say, "Ah, about that. It seems quite a few people doubt how I found the weak point. That's my fault, I didn't explain clearly, so I apologize." Rarely does someone apologize sincerely and immediately get roasted by viewers. You don't look sorry at all. "So how did you find the weak point?" "Oh, he's back. I'm screenshotting this." Seo Jun didn't pay attention to those comments and stuck to the point. "I simply connected the lines between similar parts of the gear to make cutting easier. I figured that even if I explained, people would still say I hacked the rig, so I reported myself to be safe." His one-of-a-kind announcement sent the chat into chaos. "What, yourself?" Seo Jun quickly showed the email he'd sent to the game company earlier. "I think I accidentally used a hack without realizing it. It seems I unknowingly used a hack. Could you please check for me?" That had everyone laughing. What kind of sloppy work is this? This is insane. So that's why he confessed. Oh, so he's forcing the company to prove his innocence. Those compliments made Seo Jun unexpectedly proud. He folded his arms and smiled. "Now I've explained it clearly, right?" Unexpectedly, the viewer panel didn't nod in agreement at all and just kept dumping their laughs into chat. "Explain what? He's full of slippery excuses. But gotta admit, that move was effective. Definitely a quietly crazy guy. This is the true livestream genius, right?" Seeing everyone so hyped, Seo Jun happily clicked into the game. "Alright then, I'll hop into the game now. Today's LIVSTREAM will be." Suddenly a pending image popped up and he froze. Oh, a quest offer just came in. Thanks to the makers of Dawn Assassins. Before Seo Jun, the company's exclusive system unexpectedly issued a notice. Use weak point detection on the master of Atidius Tower. The notice was visible to viewers too, sending them into a frenzy. Bet it's a million, insane. But how do you use weak point detection on the master of Atidius? Does he even wear gear? Aren't they talking about magic? Wait, you can slash magic too. If they know this much, is that account really the game creator's main account? Someone raised that doubt and Seo Jun nodded along. Yeah, that's true. He drifted into private thought. the first quest and that huge bonus. Surprisingly, that thought took longer than any streamer's usual deliberation. While Seo Jun was being extremely serious about the recent event, is this really the game creator? The viewers cracked up at his over-seriousness. Hey, look at this handsome guy. This fight's an easy win. So sweet, so sweet. No way that's true. Why is our streamer so innocent? The comments vanished quickly when Seo Jun hit the spatial transfer button. Who knows how much time passed? Seo Jun was teleported to a city ruled by the mages of Atidius Tower, whose central ruler was the Tower Master Atidius, the Duke, outwardly dignified and rational, but ruthless in conducting experiments on people. The moment he set foot in this gloomy city, Seo Jun leapt and bounded everywhere. No one on the ground recognized his figure, until Seo Jun suddenly jumped down and startled a girl so badly she nearly fainted. Her fear surged, draining her energy, so she clung to the ground and fled. I thought you were an assassin. Geez, you gave me a heart attack. Even after that comic scene, Seo Jun strolled calmly down the street. All right then, time to assassinate. Viewers didn't know whether to drop haha or sad reacts. Monster, plug your ears. If the beast heard that, it'd scream. Surviving in medieval times is rough. Breaking into Atidius Tower through the main gate, this is oddly captivating. A viewer asked if he knew anything about Atidius Tower, and seeing that comment he paused to think. I'm afraid a textbook run would be boring, so I'll just learn the basics. Like, let's clear it together with Seo Jun, so he replied with his blunt, bloody honest style. Why not just climb straight to the top? That frankness left the audience in awe, so today he just plunges straight ahead regardless. But isn't Atidius Tower a bit too tough for that? Seo Jun glanced at the flood of comments as he moved forward. He gently opened the huge gate blocking his path and muttered, let's just see what happens. Seo Jun scanned the vast interior of the tower. Not knowing the way, he decided to tail a group of NPCs. Are those NPCs major? Receiving no answer from viewers, Seo Jun continued to monologue. Fewer than I expected. Turns out most of them are ordinary people. Only then did the audience happily join in like a bustling market. Mages aren't rare. Floors 1 to 3 are basically a marketplace. The real challenge starts on floor 4. Seo Jun watched the mages, gate being passed by the guards with a serious look. When he spotted a few stray comments from viewers, oh, what foolish stunt is this newbie about to pull? Focus on those guards and take them out quick, I'm bored. His analytical instincts from a past life surged up. The chat being so quiet means this must be the way to floor 4. If he'd gone the wrong way, the chat would have been spammed with KKK by now. Dadian, standing guard, frowned threateningly when he saw someone approaching. This area is off limits. He subtly tightened his grip on the spear and thought to himself, just scare them a bit and they'll back off. As Dadian mouthed the rehearsed line, no entry without a pass, Seo Jun quietly sliced the arm that was about to strike. The swift move stopped him from even barking out a cry of pain, and he collapsed while Seo Jun strode past the door with composure. But before he'd taken many steps, something grabbed his leg. Not only that, it seemed Seo Jun couldn't turn his head normally either. Everything came on suddenly, making him panic. What is this? My body won't move. As the tension rose, a disgusted laugh sounded unexpectedly right behind Seo Jun. Valak appeared nonchalantly with 2 fireballs hovering in his hands. Tough luck for you, intruder. He didn't bother with more words and hurled the flames at Seo Jun. The sudden attack left him frozen in shock.